Sir, if you or whoever is the administering the backend right now, can I share the notebook for today on the chat right away? I think Sony or
Sir,
somebody
send
is
sir, send
on
me
the
an
chat.
email. Sir, send me an email. I'll put it on the Moodle. But then everybody doesn't have Moodle account today. So you
Okay.
can share it on chat box, and we will repeatedly, if a new person joins after 15 minutes, we will again put it on the chat box 2-3 times up
Yeah,
to
that will be a
5.
little trouble, sir, but only for today. Yeah, definitely, sir.
Yeah, only for today. Only for today.
Sure, sure. Sir, notebook one I have shared. So, sir, apart from you, is there anybody who's also, or some teacher who's coordinating with this? So she can share on the group after 15-20 minutes with other participants who join in late.
Yeah, we will do that. You need not worry about it, sir.
Sure, sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
In between around, let us say 5:45,
Mm-hmm.
just give us a platform for 5 minutes so that our madam, Nikhat madam, will explain the
Mm-hmm.
assessment mechanism. The assessment which we are going
Okay.
to do is for entire course.
Okay.
She will explain to the participants for 5 minutes. So in between
Absolutely.
between around 5:45 to 6 o'clock, इसके बीच में कभी
हाँ,
तो five
हाँ.
minutes.
और इनफैक्ट वो आइडल टाइम है. आई डू नॉट नो, मतलब आपका कोइंसिडेंस सिक्स सेंस बहुत शार्प है सर. इज वेरी नाइस बिकॉज बाय दैट टाइम माय नोटबुक वन इज गोइंग टू फिनिश. And
Okay.
yeah. So and then we'll have a transition to the notebook two, which is practical execution, because notebook one is all about theory.
Okay.
Yeah, so she can actually pause in that time. Definitely, sir.
Yeah. So when notebook one is over, you just tell us. Madam will take over for 5 minutes. Okay, sir.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think around 40 participants have joined, so we should not waste time. Aparna madam, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back for the evening session of AICT sponsored second FDP on insights into intelligent automation, machine learning, and data science. This session is going to be a hands-on session on ML algorithms by our eminent speaker, Mr. Jagtiani. Many of us who have attended our first FDP session, they know Rocky sir very well. Whether it is online or offline mode, Rocky sir's way of pitching is just fabulous. Sir is heading Training and Content Development Department of Suven Consultants and Technology Private Limited. It is a IT recruitment firm. Rocky sir is associated with S.P.I.T as an industry mentor for data science. Rocky sir is known corporate trainer at Accenture, EY and Morgan Stanley. Sir is a database and data analytics trainer at RTI CAG. Once again, I welcome Rocky sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, ma'am, can I start my session? For that, I'll need the privilege to share my screen.
Yes, Rathod sir.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So, can anybody just confirm? Is the screen clearly visible? Anyone could just confirm on the chat
Yes,
as yes?
yes, sir.
Yes?
It is
Yeah.
visible.
Sure. Sure. Great. Okay. So, friends, this is the very first notebook which has been just shared on the chat couple of minutes back. In case अगर किसी को ये notebook ना मिला हो, तो you can please request back on the chat, and we can get this notebook again. My mechanism of the teaching learning process is going to be like this: that we are going to have. I'll just open the same notebook over here also, so that I'm able to, because I have to just keep on separate browsers so that I'm able to see the chats which is going on, and that is going to help us to understand if there is any query which is getting built up among the participants. Okay, so that's my chat on the right side, and this is the notebook on the left side. So yes, that's going to be hindrance while you're watching, but then that's going to be important for me because I will be periodically asking questions. There is no way you can take rest in my session. In my session, participants have a compliment that, sir, our brain was being used more than you. This is a compliment which they give, which means that I keep your brains occupied more than what I am actually doing. So if I'm contributing 50%, you guys are also contributing 50% to the session. Okay, now, friends, let's start with this particular aspect of why do I need machine learning at the first instant? क्यों ज़रूरत है इसकी? When we talk about the theme of the workshop, the whole theme of this FDP program, we start with this word intelligent automation. So when you say intelligent automation, that means we are actually trying to replace something which could have been done. Now, automation is being done from ages. It's being done from ages. Like when I passed my instrumentation engineering way back in the year 99, and that time also we used to learn about SCADA systems, we learned about PLC, we learned about the proportional, integral, derivative, and the PID controllers. So, and I did my internship for 6 months at Tata Power Chembur. So, I did all the work on that particular thing. My entire 1 year project work. So what I learned was that we were doing control that point of time also. So what is so new of I actually been training on data science from last 3 years on different edtech platforms all over across the world? What is so different behind this and the thing which I did 20 years back in process automation or process control? क्या difference है control systems में और इसमें? Okay, now the difference comes like this. See, when you're talking about mechanical, electrical, civil, and instrumentation systems, where control systems has been there for ages, more than 20, 25 years, has been taught and used. There, whatever we are controlling can only enunciate, can only alarm, can only invoke an event saying that there is something gone wrong beyond this capacity. Meaning to say, there is supposedly a particular pressure to be maintained by a valve, and the valve will tune itself to maintain the pressure. That means it will lower the pressure of the water, or it will increase the pressure of the water to maintain the pressure. It will, I mean to say, it will increase or decrease the opening of the valve to maintain the pressure. Now, understand in this situation, it is accustomed to work within a given range. If anything goes beyond its capacity, it can only enunciate through an alarm, through a trigger, through a message or whatever, that there is something gone wrong and humans required to intervene there. This has happened once. Okay, there is a human instrumentation or mechanical electrical engineer went to the plant, did the corrective factors, and the system started moving normally. Again, after 6 months, similar problem happened. Did the valve learn on its own that there was a problem that occurred, and this problem should have been not occurring next time? Because see, when the problem occurred in the valve, some corrective actions were taken by a human because of his experience, because of his intelligence. So shouldn't have that intelligence been captured by the valve? No, it cannot, because the whole system of electrical and instrumentation or mechanical, when it comes to process control, specifically control systems and process control, if you translate it from the process control system, from the low level manufacturing plant or control plant down to programming, it is a simple if else structure. If you look at the PLC, programmable logic control, PLC ladder diagram, you will notice the whole thing is nothing but a simple if else structure. It's if this condition satisfied, do this, else do that. So the whole structure is an if else structure. If else structure can only act in bonded automation. It can only provide you bonded automation. I don't want bonded automation. I want human intelligence to be captured. That's the point where the whole thing came up, how machine learning can help. Now, let me correct you with this FDP programs, which has been very beautifully devised by the AICT committee and the core committee at S.P.I.T. There are a big team of about 10-15 people who are along with Dr. Rathore, and they have devised this very beautifully. The three things, the syllabus, it's hard work to devise syllabus such that everything fits in proper places. So when they devised this, and because they looked upon with the horizon that okay, now this is a control structure which happens and gives you bonded automation. How can I bring intelligence? Is human. Intelligence means how you act in different situations. Val doesn't know how to act in different situations. Val says आपने मुझे जो बोला आप उतना मैं करूंगा. If or else के बीच में खत्म. उससे beyond मेरे को कुछ नहीं आता. So how a human acts on different situations should also be captured. So the topic of machine learning came in the picture, right? Now you can imagine if you were to actually bring that valve, that control valve into the picture, where the whole manufacturing plant is based on control valves and some controllers. If that controller was to learn and act accordingly next time, so next time if the same error happens, he will not trouble a human. He's not going to call you. He'll say, don't worry, boss, I'll manage myself. If there is some other situation happening, I'll call you. Wow. If that thing happens, then you're merging two things. You're merging machine learning with IoT, Internet of Things. These two things are getting merged together, because Internet of Things basically mean that the things have to be controlled by coming on the internet. So that today you are logging in through a Wi-Fi network. What if I actually bring a control valve or my home's Wi-Fi, or possibly the fan or the AC which is running in my home also on that as a device? Right now on my Wi-Fi network, I see that there is a mobile phone, there is a laptop, and possibly some more family members who have their mobile phones. They are showing on my Wi-Fi network that these 6-7 devices are there. But tomorrow, if I bring the washing machine, the fridge, and the AC, even those will be devices here, and they can be controlled. So point is that if machine learning comes and grows, and it is yet to evolve, a lot, and when it starts evolving, it will take control. So everything is going to be controlled as a human touch. And the next generation of machine learning, maybe 2030 and post that, you would see post 2030 machine learning also incorporating human traits. Now it is human intelligence. After 10 years, you're going to find human traits also being incorporated, where human traits mean a feeling, you have a mood, you have a temperament. I don't see temper. Is there any, have you heard of machine learning taking care of temperament? Have you heard of machine learning taking care of mood? Have you heard of machine learning taking care of human touch characteristics or human feel characteristics? Acting as a father, acting as a mother, or a brother or a sister? No, nothing. They don't know all these relations. So that's going to be the next. That's at a very nascent stage of research, which has already started. But 2030 post, you will see systems incorporating that. Okay, right. So now you have a whole picture very clear, because I will be meeting you for a couple of days, so you should have a very clear picture about what my thought process is. Okay, right. So when we talk about machine learning, we are talking of intelligence systems, and what is the basic difference between a machine learning system and a traditional software system? Let's have a look at that. I hope there are no doubts on up till now. and it is going very simple and clear. Okay, look at this diagram on the screen. Okay, I see two diagrams. One is on the left, which is the traditional software development. One is on the right, which is so called as a kind of a schematic for machine learning. Look at on the left. On the left, my diagram says, let's say one of us wants to make a software. Hmm? And we hire a set of young engineers who are from good colleges, and we have hired them. Okay, and we told them, listen, this is a software to be made. If I give this input, this is the algorithm, generate this output. How we teach our children in our college? We give them, let's say we generate Fibonacci series. तो हम क्या कहते हैं, ये इतनी वैल्यू n की होगी, Fibonacci series का ये particular algo है और ऐसा output आएगा. So how the child minds work? Same thing. Everyone's mind will work that way when they have started to programming. Is we know what the input data is. The algorithm is the rule. So rule teaches me that if anybody gives me x, I will say x into 2 because output y is equal to 2 is needed. So the algo is being, output is not given to us. We are given the input data, given the algo. So my program in Python, Java, C, C++, blah blah language will implement the algo and generate the output. Things twist when it comes to machine learning. In machine learning, you're given the input data. You're also given what answer. You're not given with the model in between. You're not given with the algo in between. So you are being asked, if x is 1, y is equal to 2. X is 2, y is equal to 4. So they are telling us that, listen, I'm giving you the input. I'm giving you the output. You will please leaving. So the what comes in between, we don't know. That thing you find what comes in between. So what comes in between, friends, is the model. It's the ML model. And what is an ML model? An ML model is nothing but a simple mathematical equation which maps or which translates my input x onto the output y. Okay, so that's the basic theme difference between traditional programming and machine learning. Now, when it comes to machine learning, there are various forms of it. The forms are supervised, unsupervised, we have semi-supervised, and we have reinforcement learning. We will focus on supervised and unsupervised because semi-supervised is a kind of a mixture of supervised and unsupervised. To be very honest, if you are little weak or unclear on this two, trust me, you cannot self-learn semi-supervised. So you have to be very clear on these two. And my objective would be to make you very clear on this in terms of concept as well as in terms of coding. Further, reinforcement learning is something given a capacity as of right now in the FDP2 program. So we are concentrating on this because the number of days which I have got, I could only possibly focus on these two. But yes, if time permits, I will definitely talk about reinforcement learning. It's not that difficult. Okay. Now, friends, whenever we come across any kind of machine learning problem, you will always notice that in the case of machine learning problem, these are the terms which hit our head. You do any Google, you download any book, research paper, you come across a blog, anything you do, these are the things which will hit your mind. Now, what are each of this? Let me talk one line for each one, and then I'm going to ask questions, all of you, to actually know what have you understood of each of them, right? Yeah. So the very first is data set. Without data, we can't work. Input data x equal to 1, x equal to 2. So we should be given some data set. Data set could be about 1,000 fake or non-fake bank notes, which RBI has banned 2,000 rupees notes. Why they have banned? Because fake notes are being produced. So you have data for bank notes, which we are going to do in our case studies ahead. Then US states, there are 48 states in the US with a totaling population of 33 crores. And so we want to know what is the petrol consumption, and because there were very few cars being driven because of the lockdown in the US, so petrol consumption has drastically got reduced. So what's the petrol consumption? And if the government plans to increase the tax on the petrol consumption, then will more or will less petrol be consumed? So if that data is given to you, you start doing analysis. This is based on data. So that's data set. Data set means the data on which you're going to do your analysis. That is your X. Data set is your X. Fitting. Now, let's be very simple. Imagine that any machine learning problem is as good as basically a child who is learning. You just consider a machine learning problem as a child who is. So if a child is being given some notes, then those notes are going to be studied by the child, and he's going to give an exam tomorrow. Imagine a child is in 12th, so he's studying, and then there's going to be some exam he's going to go and give. What is he doing when he's learning? क्या कर रहा है वो जब learn कर रहा है? रट सो नहीं रहा है. जब वो learn कर रहा है तो वो ये understand कर रहा है कि ऐसा अगर सवाल आएगा तो मुझे ऐसा जवाब देना है, और अगर सवाल चेंज होगा तो मुझे जवाब भी ऐसा चेंज करना है. So he is going to answer different questions in different ways. He is learning the patterns. He is recording the patterns of data in his mind. That's called fitting. So fitting means he records the pattern of the data. So that's what ML model does. ML model learns your data and also learns the pattern between the data. Next, what is feature? Any data which you see, I repeat, any data which you see, all the individual vertical columns in your data are called as features. Next, generalization, I will talk about it sometime later, not immediately right now. It may end confusing some people who are not at all from the coding background. मॉडल इज द एमएल मॉडल विच यू मेक, जो हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बात की कि इनके बीच में आप एक आल्गो बनाओगे या एमएल मॉडल बनाओगे. दैट इज द मॉडल विच आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. नेक्स्ट, व्हाट इज अ लॉस? ओके, नाउ just let me come out with a very simple algorithm as well as understanding the concept. So let's say that we are planning to predict house prices. We're planning to predict house prices. So if we plan to predict house prices and somebody has given us in your given locality that this is a square feet area and this is the square feet area and this is the house price. So given your society or given your area, assume a 500-meter radius, half a kilometer radius. So we're not comparing Kolaba with Chembur and Chembur with Andheri. All these three are different rates in Bombay. So we are comparing your own locality, whichever locality you stay. And in your locality, you found some houses and their prices, and you plotted a scatter plot. And your scatter plot looks something like this. This thin dots which I'm showing is the scatter plot. Now in this scatter plot, if by some mechanism, if we find some best fit line, then this particular best fit line, how we find the best fit line we'll talk about a little later, but assume that we have found this best fit line. When we find the best fit line, this best fit line is actually helping us to find that, let's say that I have for a 500 square feet area, there is a X price that is to be paid for the house. X, that data X price. But I don't have what is the price of the house if the house is 530 square feet. जो उसका price मेरे पास नहीं है. So what I will do? I will project this 530 square feet on the regression line and project it here, and I'll get the price of the house. Simple, right? So this particular model is actually called as this is called as a regression line because it's a linear line. So this could be linear, this could be non-linear like this. It could be like this. So it could be parabola or hyperbola, or this is a non-linear regression, and this is a linear regression. Now coming to this factor called loss. What does loss mean? If I draw some more lines on this, so how do we find that among line number 1, 2 and 3, which is the best fit line? So what we actually take every house price and find the distance of it from this line. जब हम distance निकालते हैं तो हमें delta मिलता है. Obviously अगर मैं जो deltas मुझे यहाँ पर आ रहे हैं from with respect to all these points, so the top black line, I found all the delta values. Now when I find the average of this delta, assume कीजिए कि मुझे line number 1 का जो average है वो आया as x1. Line number 2 ka distance of every point with respect to the line, I got the average of that. Average delta, not one single delta, average delta as x2. And for line 3, I got it as x3. Now imagine, x1, x2, x3, 3 things are there in front of you. What are they? They are actually deltas, right? And what is delta? Delta is the error, no? Because your line is somewhere in the air, your house price is somewhere here, which you have actually found. So these dots are indicating the actual house prices which you have got. but the line says कि house पे और ही कुछ होगा. So this is delta. These are actually errors. So what you have got exactly is x1, x2, x3 are error values. Now in real life, what do you feel the error should be? Rocky ji, obviously error should be as low as possible. Error should be as low as possible. So if error should be as low as possible, then you find the least of all this and you get x2 is the least of all this. Same applies for business. On a business, you started a new business. What do you expect? To have high losses? No, you expect the loss should be as low as possible. To understand. In business, loss as low as possible. In machine learning, error as low as possible. Therefore, the way we find these errors, that is taking an average of delta, is called as way we find a loss. And the mathematical function which helps us to find the average delta, that means average loss, is called as a loss function. So we come to know what is loss function. We also come to know what is loss. That's the reason there is over here. Okay. Now every machine learning algorithm has some parameters. Those are incidentally called as hyperparameters. Instead of saying parameters alone, we call them as hyperparameters. Okay. Right. So two terms which are not touched upon right now: generalization and overfitting. They are interrelated, but I will talk to them sometime later. Okay. Now I want inputs from your side. What inputs I want from your side? I'll tell you. Okay. Now, if I notice, I have explained it. You can keep, now you all people can keep your notebook in front of you. Please keep your notebook in front of you. Okay. And I have few questions to ask on machine learning. I'll ask questions. I want the answers, multiple answers on the chat. So please be ready, but take 1 minute, peaceful 1 minute, and scan your notebook and scan that diagram. 30 seconds. ओके राइट आई एम श्योर आप डायग्राम को वापस से एक बार देख अब मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन इज दिस कि इन आवर मॉडल all this is not going to be there for you, this is going to be deleted. Okay, so when we talk about machine learning models, friends, what is the x values indicating you? Are the x values indicating you loss or are they features? Please, your answer should get punched on the chat. Absolutely, they are the input features. Fantastic. Okay, now whenever data is being given to you, suppose if now I'm going one step little ahead, so I will also be looking at how much can you apply what you have understood. Okay, let's say that you have been given, a diabetes data set. You have been given a diabetes data set. And in diabetes data set, you have been given some parameters, maybe 10 odd features, and the 11th feature, the 11th column is the sugar level of the person. If it's high, then it's considered as diabetic, and if it's high, it's considered as diabetic, and if it is low, it's considered as non-diabetic. Many of us may have decent balance because we are equally active, so it will be non-diabetic. Okay, high blood sugar continuously, diabetic. Maintain blood sugar continuously, non-diabetic. Okay, so in this case, I want to know from you, these 10 and this 11th attribute, which of them will be called as input features and which will be called as output target variable. Output target variable means y. So which is going to be the output target variable y and which is going to be the input features, that is x. Excellent, Vikas. It was super fast. Excellent. Sony, Varsha, Indrajit, Vaishali, Bhuma Devi, that was cool. It was so fast. Good. So in the diabetes data set, that's right. We know the what is X and what is Y. Fantastic. Now next. When we are, let's say that we have been given with some X. Okay, these are all the input features. Let's say 10 input features. And we give it to some set of mathematical equation, which is called as the model in ML language, ML model. And the ML model is giving us a prediction. It's giving us a prediction. Okay, this is expected to happen if you give this input. And this model has already got trained. Now, if your prediction is quite far from the actual, if your prediction is quite far from the actual, then this particular error, ER, is also called as, there is another term for it, is also called as perfect, Varsha. Excellent. That is quite quick, Varsha. It is also called as loss. And the equation or the mathematical function which helps you to measure the difference between the prediction and the actual value is called as loss function. Fantastic. Very good. Right. So we move one step further. Warm-up is very good. So you have come to the gym with for ML and your warm-up has been fantastic. Friends, there are some great authors actually, and you will not believe that I have actually written a mail to them. They are Luis Serrano is an author who has written so many books actually, which people refer. But people have this fear factor that अरे author को कैसे contact करेंगे, and but they are the most responsive people, you know. So for most of my programs, wherever whatever I take, whether it's government or a private training, I've contacted these authors and incorporated their official videos, which comes with their official books. Like Billy Publications has its own website, which has when you can buy books and you can access their resources there. So, and they have allowed us to keep their resources most welcome. They've written the words to me on my email. They are most welcome to incorporate it into educational material. So, friends, today's home assignment. Please remember today's home assignment. Whether it will be used for assessment, not assessment, keep that secondary. But today's home assignment is everyone has to go through this video. This is about 25 odd minutes video. You will all go through them, and due credits to Luis Serrano sir, who is already a PhD 12 years back into machine learning and into various aspects of AI. Uh, there are some questions over here which I have asked. That is finding the price of a house an example of linear regression? Is the price of a house uh, and compared to other houses in the same locality, what kind of mechanism is being used? Then what is a gradient descent approach? How to detect spam mails on Google, vagera, vagera. And how Google recommend apps. All that is explained in the video above. In the video above, there is no mathematics used. There is no coding used. So please be rest assured. That is what I am going to teach in the lecture. But I thought that instead of taking 1-2 hour session on talking about all this, it's better that we view it by animation. Okay, so please do that. There are 10 questions in this notebook. Whether it is going to be used for assessment or not, it's a secondary issue. Everyone has to do it. Now, coming into this point, friends, क्या difference है between supervised learning and unsupervised learning? Let's have a look at this very simple diagram. Please look at this diagram for a second. I know 90% of you would be knowing that classification means that I would take my data points and divide them into 2 or more classes or separate them into 2 or more clusters. So this blue points up here could mean something like, let's say blue points up here means patients who are having high sugar level, y-axis, high sugar level, and x-axis exercise activity. Low activities, high sugar level. These are people prone to diabetes. Look at the green one. The green people are those who are having low sugar level, and x-axis is the activity level. कितना आप active हो दिन में. So your activity level is high. So That's the point, that the green ones are non-diabetic patients. So how smartly this line which goes in between has separated the diabetic patients from the non-diabetic patients. Therefore, this is called as classification. Look at this diagram. Here, the best fit line is trying to pass as many points as possible. Of course, it's a straight line. So it is trying to pass as many points as possible. If this line was somewhere here, it would have been very far from the points. If this point is over here, again, it is very far from the points. So you actually find the best position of the line where it is having the least error or the least loss, and therefore this is called as a best fit line. Now, let me tell you one very important thing about it. When we talk about learning, supervised learning gets further divided into two parts. Either it can be regression or it can be classification. But question is, why supervised? Let's have a look. Friends, if our data set is holding X input features and also along with it somebody is so kind enough to give us the output target variable also, मतलब हमारे bodily parameters भी हमको दिए जा रहे हैं और उसके मुताबिक मेजर किया जा रहा है. मान लीजिए आपके पास 100 पेशेंट्स का डेटा है और इस 100 पेशेंट्स के डेटा में आपके पास बॉडीली पैरामीटर्स है पेशेंट्स का, एंड ये भी पता है आपको कि वो डायबिटिक है या नहीं है, डायबिटिक और नॉन डायबिटिक. So you have got 100 such patients. Now what happens is this becomes a very easy case because you take a ML model, a supervised ML algorithm, and you're giving him, he's like a small child at home जिसको पता है कि 10th का पेपर और 12th का पेपर किस पैटर्न में आने वाला है. उसको हर स्टूडेंट या हर टीचर, हर पेरेंट, जब आप अपने बच्चे को पढ़ा रहे हो तो आप एग्जैक्टली क्या देख रहे हो? आप ये देख रहे हो कि क्या आपका बच्चा पैटर्न पकड़ पाता है कि नहीं. वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. पैटर्न पकड़ना इंपॉर्टेंट. उसको पता होना चाहिए कि 2 मार्क के आंसर में, 2 मार्क के सवाल में कितना लिखना है, 4 मार्क के सवाल में कितना लिखना है, 8 मार्क के सवाल में कितना लिखना है. अगर वो ये गेस नहीं, जज नहीं कर पाया तो पेपर या तो छोड़ के आएगा या तो कम मार्क्स लेके आएगा. सो जिस तरीके से आप एक बच्चे के माइंड को रीड करते हो, ट्रेन करते हो, एग्जैक्टली वही चीज यहाँ एमएल कर रहा है. और क्या कर रहा है एमएल? क्या कर रहा है वो ये चेक कर रहा है कि ये बॉडीली पैरामीटर जब होते हैं तो बंदा डायबिटिक होता है, जब ऐसे बॉडीली पैरामीटर्स होते हैं तो बंदा नॉन डायबिटिक होता है. So he is able to judge that for given set of parameters, and therefore he measures. So every ML system basically measures the variance or the range of the parameter. Assume that X had only two values. Let's say one is the body weight and other is the activity level, AL. If the body weight is 70 kgs and let us measure activity level as 1 upon 10, as upon 10. So अगर आपका एक्टिविटी लेवल 1 है या 2 है तो आप बहुत कम एक्टिव हो, और अगर आपका एक्टिविटी लेवल 5 है, सॉरी अबव 5 है, मतलब 6 7 8 9, तो आप एक्टिव हो. तो एक बंदा है जिसका वेट 70 है, एक्टिविटी लेवल 7 और 7 है, काफी एक्टिव है, वेट भी बैलेंस्ड है, तो इस केस में ये बंदा नॉन डायबिटिक है. ये मेजर किसने किया? एमएल ने. तो एमएल ने जज कर दिया कि, एक सेकेंड, एमएल ने जज कर दिया कि जितने लोगों का वेट 70 से लेकर 85 के बीच में है, जितने लोगों का एक्टिविटी लेवल 7 से लेकर 9 तक है, 7 से लेकर 9 मतलब 7 8 9, इवन 9 से ऊपर भी, मान लो 10, किसी का एक्टिव लेवल 10 भी हो, एकदम वो अक्षय कुमार टाइप एक्टिव है एकदम, तो पॉइंट ये हो गया कि 70 से लेकर 85 तक, 7 से लेकर 10 तक, ये उसने रेंज मेजर कर लिया है. बच्चा कैसे पढ़ाई कर रहा है वैसे उसने रेंज मेजर कर लिया. उसने नोटिस कर लिया कि इफ द वैल्यू ऑफ द वेट वेरीज, so this is basically it is actually measuring the range of value and looking at the variance. So if the value is varying from 70 to 85 or 7 to 10, then I'll go understand that majority of such people are non-diabetic. But if the weight ranges from 86 to 100, or the activity level ranges from 1 to 5, then majority of such people are diabetic. अच्छा, इंटरेस्टिंग, करेक्ट. तो ये चीज मेजर कर दी है, याद नहीं की उसने. जिस वक्त आपके एमएल एल्गोरिदम ने इसको रट लिया, मतलब कल अगर मान लो, कल अगर आपके एमएल सिस्टम को सपोज आपको एमएल सिस्टम ने सपोज अगर इनपुट दिया आपने एमएल सिस्टम को कि एक बंदा है जिसका वेट है 72 kgs लेकिन उसकी एक्टिविटी लेवल 1 है, और इस केस में बिकॉज वो एंड लॉजिक हमने यहाँ अप्लाई किया था, तो ये एंड लॉजिक एमएल अप्लाई कर रहा है अपने माइंड में कि अगर वेट आपका इस रेंज में है एंड आपके एक्टिविटी लेवल इसके रेंज में है तो आप नॉन डायबिटिक हो। तो अगर आपने उसको दिया कि 72 kgs का एक बंदा है और बंदा एक्टिविटी लेवल ऑलमोस्ट निल है, कंटिन्यूस बैठने का ही काम है उसका, मैनेजमेंट में बंदा है, सीनियर मैनेजमेंट में, वेट बैलेंस्ड है, बॉडी फिट है एकदम, लेकिन बैठने का कंटिन्यूस काम है, एक्टिविटी लेवल बहुत कम है उसकी, तो ये लॉजिक के मुताबिक आपका जो एमएल मॉडल है वो डिक्लेयर कर देगा कि वो डायबिटिक है। क्यों? क्योंकि एमएल मॉडल क्या कह रहा है, वेट भी बैलेंस होना चाहिए, एक्टिविटी लेवल भी हाई होना चाहिए, तो मैं नॉन डायबिटिक कहूंगा। अदरवाइज इन दोनों में से कोई भी एक चीज अगर आउट ऑफ प्लेस हुई तो मैंने डायबिटिक डिक्लेयर कर देना है, जबकि बंदा डायबिटिक नहीं, तो एमएल मॉडल ने फिर भी डायबिटिक कह दिया उसको। ठीक है, अब एमएल मॉडल अगर इन चीजों को नहीं पढ़ पाता कि ये 72 और कामा 1 जो है कि ये डायबिटिक नॉन डायबिटिक है, इन चीजों को हम लोग कहते हैं एज मिस क्लासिफिकेशन, दिस कॉल्ड एज मिस क्लासिफिकेशन। और जितनी ज्यादा मिस क्लासिफिकेशन होगी उतना ज्यादा हमारा लॉस फैक्टर होगा। ठीक है, अब मैं आपको बताना एक्चुअली और कुछ आता था, बताना मुझे आपको ये था कि जब आपको एक्स पैरामीटर्स दिए जाते हैं, आउटकम वाई भी दिया जाता है, तो आपका एमएल मॉडल जो है वो सुपरवाइज लर्निंग कर रहा है, सब कुछ उसको है ना, एवरीथिंग इज हैविंग इन प्लेस। अब अनसुपरवाइज क्या होगा? अनसुपरवाइज तब होगा जब आपको केवल एक्स दिया जाए, वाई आपको दिया ही नहीं है। अच्छा, वाई दिया नहीं है तो इसका मतलब आपको खाली बॉडी के पैरामीटर्स दिए गए? जी बिल्कुल, वही डायबिटिक डेटा सेट पे वाई को निकाल दो, केवल आपको बॉडी के पैरामीटर्स दिए हुए हैं, वो बंदा डायबिटिक है या नहीं है वो नहीं दिया है आपको। ठीक है, अच्छी बात है, तो अब कैसे फाइंड करें फिर हम इस सिचुएशन में? अगर आप और मैं मिलकर इस सपोजिटली इस डेटा में, मान लो आपके पास बॉडी पैरामीटर्स में बहुत सारे कॉलम्स हैं, बहुत सारे फीचर्स हैं, देयर इज अ टेक्निक called there is a technique called which we did in FDP1. We did something called as EDA, exploratory data analysis, which helped us in finding that, let's say that if I had 10 features, then out of the 10 features, which features are the most important? So I will do some EDA, exploratory data analysis, and do some C1 and matplot plots to come to know which features are most important. Let's say that I get 2 features are more important or are the most important. The 2 features सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस से मुझे आ रहे हैं, बिकॉज अगर मैं उनको प्लॉट करता हूँ, यूज़ करता हूँ प्लॉट करने के लिए, तो मैं देखता हूँ कि मेरे डेटा काफ़ी वेल सेग्रीगेटेड है, तो मैंने वो फीचर्स को उठाया। मान लेते हैं वो फीचर है F3 and F4. Let's say F3 is body weight W and F4 is activity level AM. So we did the plotting. Activity level F4 versus weight हो गया आपका F3 फीचर, मतलब थर्ड कॉलम आपके डेटा सेट में, और एक्टिविटी लेवल जो है वो F4 आपका फोर्थ फीचर। ठीक है, अब इस डेटा सेट को लेकर आपने जब प्लॉटिंग की तो हमें कुछ इस किस्म का डेटा मिला। ठीक है, अब ऐसा डेटा हमको मिला हुआ है। अब जरा खुद सोचिए, जो डेटा आपको यहाँ पर आया है, इस डेटा में आपको क्लियर दिख रहा होगा कि कुछ डॉट्स जो है वो तो ब्लैक और ग्रीन तो मैंने मार्क किया है, जैसे आप और मैं डिस्टिंग्विश कर सके उसे इसे, लेकिन वो ब्लैक और ग्रीन नहीं होगा। सभी डॉट्स ब्लैक में आएंगे, सभी डॉट्स ग्रीन में, कोई भी एक कलर में सभी डॉट्स आ जाएंगे। लेकिन कुछ डॉट्स ऐसे हैं जिनका मैं नोटिस कर रहा हूँ कि वेट ज्यादा है, ये ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट है भैया हमारा 70। सर 70 क्यों लिया हमने कुछ 70 नहीं लिया, हमने डेटा को देखकर 70 चूज किया, बिकॉज ये अनसुपरवाइज लर्निंग है ना, आपको केवल बॉडी के पैरामीटर्स दिए हुए हैं, आपको नहीं बताया है बंदा डायबिटिक है कि नहीं, लेकिन आपने जज किया कि मुझे कुछ बंदे दिख रहे हैं। और अगर मैं ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस को डोमेन इंटेलिजेंस कहते हैं, मतलब आपको मेडिकल में कुछ बेसिक जानकारी होनी चाहिए, जहां आप चूज कर ले कि अकॉर्डिंग टू बॉडी मास इंडेक्स 70 kg इज द बैलेंस्ड वेट फॉर मेन ऑफ दिस एज एंड दिस हाइट, उसके ऊपर जाओगे तो आप ओवरवेट कैटेगरी में चलते जाओगे। तो ये आपने एक सिंपल डोमेन इंटेलिजेंस लगाया। अगर ये डेटा डायबिटीज के बारे में ना होता, सिविल कंस्ट्रक्शन के बारे में होता, तो हम सिविल की जानकारी थोड़ी बहुत बेसिक लगाते। ओके, राइट। सो कमिंग टू दिस, so you decide some particular breakpoints. Maybe the breakpoints are not one, there could be many breakpoints. So I choose this 70 breakpoint. So I understand that all those people who are having weight above 70, and it was also noticed that the activity level of 4. So people having activity level of 4, have a look. What do you get here? You get here basically a cluster of points. Now this cluster of points becomes one particular class. So आपने क्या किया? आपने केवल एक मैट प्लॉट में प्लॉट किया। सो फर्स्ट यू डिड ईडीए। अनसुपरवाइज्ड लर्निंग ऐसे काम करता है। अनसुपरवाइज्ड लर्निंग में आपका एमएल को कुछ नहीं करता, आप ज्यादा काम करते। You will choose in the unsupervised learning, you will apply some EDA, find some best features. Either you can apply EDA or you can apply PCA. PCA stands for Principal Component Analysis. So Principal Component Analysis actually finds covariance and helps me in finding the best features out of the set given. It is, to be very honest, it's actually a feature extraction technique. It finds new features from the existing old features. Okay, so in short, you have found the two features F3 and F4. आपने ये प्लॉटिंग की। प्लॉटिंग में आपको दिखा कि कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं जो बॉटम बेस में आ रहे हैं, वेट ज्यादा है, एक्टिविटी लेवल कम है। दिस इज माय क्लास। यू हैव टू नंबर देम, क्लास 1 क्लास 2 जो भी नंबर देना है। आपने क्लास 1 नेम किया। आपको अगर रॉकी जी तो नॉन डायबिटिक डायबिटिक है, हाँ 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 हाँ, यहाँ चुप कर रहे हो आप। ध्यान रखिए, अनसुपरवाइज मशीन लर्निंग में किसी ने आपको नहीं आके कहा है कि डायबिटिक है नॉन डायबिटिक है। ये तो सुने हुए टर्म्स है आपके, डायबिटिक नॉन डायबिटिक, तो आप आसानी से बोल दो। कल टर्म सुने ना हो आपके। अननोन वायरस पर आप रिसर्च कर रहे हो, आपको क्या लगता है कोविड पर आपको डेटा मिला होगा? कोविड के वैक्सीन तो अभी बन रही है। तो मतलब ऑल द डेटा फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, जितने टेस्ट अब तक हुए हैं, विच इज मोर देन 10 करोड़ टेस्ट अब तक हो चुके होंगे वर्ल्ड ओवर बेसिस पे। तो जितने टोटल टेस्ट हुए हैं, केसेस नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, टेस्ट बोल रहा हूँ, तो वो सारा डेटा जो आपके पास आ रहा है, सारा डेटा जो पास जा रहा है, दैट्स अ ब्यूटीफुल एग्जांपल ऑफ अनसुपरवाइज्ड लर्निंग completely, right? So it's an unsupervised learning example that who is getting the data, they don't know the person is what kind of vaccine has to be given, iska dose ka kya, it's unsupervised data which they have. Now unsupervised data which is coming, you classify them, class 1 में आ रहा है या वो class 2 में है। let's say class 2 ऐसा है, हाँ, इसके ये ऊपर वाला class 2। what about this? let you consider these points are left out। ये जो ग्रीन है और ये जो ब्लैक पॉइंट्स है, इनको हम लेफ्ट आउट कर रहे हैं। ठीक है, दो क्लासेस आपके पास आ गए। ऊपर वाले क्लास को आपने नेम कर दिया एज क्लास 2, क्योंकि आई एम जस्ट गोइंग इन स्ट्रेट लाइन ना। आई होप एवरीबॉडी इज एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड। ये स्ट्रेट लाइंस पर मैं देख रहा हूँ, ये मेरा जो है ना डिविजनिंग पार्टीशन है। तो जो इधर आ गए, जो इस एरिया में आ गए वो क्लास 2 हो गए, जो इस एरिया में आ गए वो क्लास 1 हो गए। ये वर्टिकल लाइन से मैंने डिवाइड किया। ठीक है, अब ये आपको एज अ ह्यूमन, एज अ डॉक्टर, यहां से जो पेशेंट का डेटा आपने यहाँ पर प्लॉट किया है, इंडिविजुअल का डेटा आपने जो प्लॉट किया है, इसको उठाना पड़ेगा। मान लेते हैं ये जो डेटा आपको यहां दिख रहा है, इस बंदे का नाम है एबीसी। नाउ एज अ डॉक्टर, एज अ मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल, यू पिक अप दिस एबीसी's डेटा इन हैंड एंड चेक and realize that this guy is overweight and having very low activity level. So all the people who come in the class of ABC are D, diabetic. So you pick up another person from here, you pick up this patient's record DEF, and you realize that this person called DEF is having a weight below 70 and is quite active. Wow, so you realize that this person is in the category of ND, that is non-diabetic. So आपने नेम दिया कि जिस क्लास को DEF बिलोंग करता है वो नॉन डायबिटिक है, और जिस क्लास को ABC बिलोंग करता है वो डायबिटिक है। नाम आपने दिया है। Now this is what unsupervised ML is. So unsupervised ML does what basically? It does the classification of data. This is what he does inside it. He does classification of data, and to do classification of data, it actually finds the Sir, the line cannot come in classification. There are many people who say line, line कैसे दिखा रहे हैं आप classification? I told yes, the theme of classification and regression is same. In regression आप इस line को कहोगे best fit line. In classification आप इस line को कहोगे best separating line. यही अंतर है दोनों. I repeat, regression problem होगा तो best fit line. और क्लासिफिकेशन प्रॉब्लम होगा, कोई भी क्लासिफिकेशन आगे ले लो फिर आप, कोई भी, वेदर इज लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन, नेव बायस क्लासिफायर, गॉसियन, रैंडम फॉरेस्ट क्लासिफायर, डिसीजन ट्री क्लासिफायर, कोई भी क्लासिफिकेशन ले लो, अल्टीमेटली उसका बेस थीम यही है, वो बेस्ट सेपरेटिंग लाइन फाइंड कर रहा है. खाली फर्क इतना है कि व्हेन यू गो फॉर हायर एंड क्लासिफायर्स, इंस्टेड ऑफ फाइंडिंग द बेस्ट फिट line, it can also find the best separating curve, where curve could be like a parabolic shape or a hyperparabolic shape. That's the difference. That's it. So funda is very simple. You're classifying the data. Now let me flow further. Story doesn't end here. The story moves a little further. अब हीरो की एंट्री हो चुकी है. हीरो जो है उसकी एंट्री हो चुकी है. हीरो कौन है? हीरो आपने फाइंड किया. आप हो हीरो. आपने फाइंड किया है कि कौन सा बंदा डायबिटिक है. जिस क्लास में ए है वो डायबिटिक है, जिस क्लास में डी एफ है वो नॉन डायबिटिक है. आपने फाइंड किया ना. ट्रांसलेट दिस ओवर द डेटा. कभी आपने रियलाइज किया कि जब पहली बार कोविड का टेस्ट हुआ, जिस डेटा का आपको सर और पैर इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मालूम, आप जज कैसे करोगे कि ये पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव है? क्या जजमेंट में आता है आपको कि पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव? हाँ, नहीं से रिपोर्ट आती है. रिपोर्ट अभी आ रही है आपको. दिसंबर 2019 में जब पहली बार केस आया तो वो समझ में सो नहीं आ रहा है कि पॉजिटिव है कि नहीं है. बिकॉज आपको जब वायरस का स्ट्रक्चर ही नहीं पता तो आप कैसे बोल सकते हो कि पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव. तो इसका मतलब आपने बाकी बॉडी पैरामीटर्स मेजर किए. तो जैसे डायबिटिक के केस में आपने बाकी बॉडी पैरामीटर्स मेजर किए, वैसे कोविड के केस में बाकी बॉडी पैरामीटर्स मेजर. तब रियलाइज हुआ कि पेशेंट एबीसी को देख के लगता है कि ही इज कोविड पॉजिटिव. डीएफ को लेके लगता है, देख के लगता है बाकी बॉडी पैरामीटर्स दैट इज पॉजिटिव में इज कोविड नेगेटिव. Okay, this is the way it works. Now going little further, let's see this. If I notice little further, then just a second. Yeah. Then let me clear things which are not needed. Okay. Now I understand that key data I have got. Now what you should do, you should go back to X. Go back to X and add this column from your side. अनसुपरवाइज से कोई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं तो दुनिया में कोई भी इंडस्ट्री का प्रॉब्लम अनसुपरवाइज से सॉल्व नहीं होता, लेकिन हर प्रॉब्लम इंडस्ट्री में अनसुपरवाइज लर्निंग से ही शुरू होता है. ये हमारा एक भ्रम है कि डेटा जो हमको दिया जाएगा उसमें एक्स और वाई दोनों होगा. वाई कभी नहीं होता उसमें. रियल कंपनी डेटा में वाई कभी नहीं होता. यू ओनली हैव एक्स. सो यू डू अनसुपरवाइज लर्निंग, गेट द वाई. You may be going wrong also. That's possible. That's okay. So you get the y. Now what you do is that once you get the y, this data will then be put across the ML algos for the purpose of prediction. तो predict कैसे करोगे दोस्त? सोचिए आप सब लोग. Ultimately ML मॉडल आप क्यों बना रहे हो? For the objective of predicting. कहाँ से predict करोगे आप? Unsupervised तो खाली classification करता है आपके लिए, prediction तो कर ही नहीं सकता. Right? So I hope this whole story, the background which you need to have for machine learning is very, very clear. When a problem comes to you, most of the times you will do unsupervised learning. Get the target variable y. Get the target. Like for example, moment I asked, majority immediately punched within a fraction of a second. 30 सेकंड में आंसर आना शुरू हो गया. इसका मतलब क्या? आपका माइंडसेट जो है ना वो यूज्ड टू हो चुका है इस फैक्ट से कि जो डेटा जो आता है उस पर टारगेट वाई तो होता ही है. वो माइंडसेट को थोड़ा हम वो मिथ है क्लियर करते हैं. एक्स दिया जाता है, पहले हम अनसुपरवाइज लर्निंग फाइंड करेंगे, डेटा को मैटप्लॉटलिब से प्लॉट करेंगे, उसे समझेगा हमको ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस से कि क्लास 1 कौन है, क्लास 2 कौन है, टारगेट वेरिएबल मिलेगा, हम डेटा सेट में वापस आकर टारगेट वेरिएबल सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे. उसके बाद एमएल अल्गोस जो सुपरवाइज कैटेगरी के हैं वो अप्लाई करेंगे टू डू माय प्रेडिक्शन. अल्टीमेटली तो प्रेडिक्शन करना था ना यार कि ऐसे वाले बंदे को अगर मैं डेटा सेट आपको दूं तो क्या वो डायबिटिक है या नॉन डायबिटिक है. स्विगी का अगर ऐप होगा तो क्या आप खाना ऑर्डर करोगे या नहीं करोगे? ठीक है, राइट? यस. सो फ्रेंड्स, बिफोर आई टेक अ पॉज, नाउ I wish to ask all of you, did you understand this explanation? Please punch me a yes on the chat. Any doubts? Please ask me. Cool. So that's fantastic, friends. Right. So I know I'm going a little delayed. I promised Rato so that I'll be handing over the class to uh, one of my colleagues to explain about this. But I just need 5-7 minutes more. Please give me 5-7 minutes more. I'll complete this notebook. Right. Now, friends, when it comes to unsupervised learning, जो मैं already समझा चुका हूँ आपको. In unsupervised learning, we do something called as clustering. So what is clustering? See this. This is your original data. You plotted your original data by finding the most important features, and you got, actually this is the original data which is then plotted. Now it is human intelligence which decided, okay, that this data over this 6 points or this 7 points here, especially the 6 points here, जो मैं highlight कर रहा हूँ, ये जो 6 points यहाँ पर है, उनका low x है और low y है. So let them come in one particular class. They have low x, low y. Example, they have low weight and low activity level. Weight भी कम है, activity level भी कम है. So maybe they are prone to diabetics. They have a probability of becoming diabetic in the near future. But they are not diabetic as of right now. Then this set of x points here, ये जो ऊपर आ रहे हैं आपके, जिसको हमने यहाँ ब्लू मार्क किया है, ये जो ऊपर x points आ रहे हैं, इनका वेट ज्यादा है लेकिन एक्टिविटी लेवल भी ज्यादा है. वेट ज्यादा है लेकिन एक्टिविटी लेवल भी ज्यादा है. एग्जाम्पल, आप मोटे हो लेकिन आपका रोज ट्रेन में आना जाना है, आपका overweight, but then these people are still not diabetic because they are equally active also. What about these people in the orange? In the orange, these people are having low weight but very high activity level. They are Akshay Kumars. So इनमें तो diabetes होने का chance ही नहीं है. They are healthy people whom people look upon. अरे यार, what a fit body. So when you do unsupervised learning, you will get data in clusters. From here, you will use your brains, give name to each class, and substitute that name in the target variable, and then you will do either classification or regression. Regression will give you prediction. Classification will tell you which class does the data belongs to. Okay? Again, there is a video to watch. Now, last 3 minutes on this particular diagram. Please remember, post the 5-minute session, which we are going to give to our colleague to explain the assessment process for the FDP2 program. Before I hand over the audio to her, get this diagram clear, because the next notebook is going to apply this. आप मेरे साथ कोड करके ये अप्लाई करोगे on a very simple dummy data. First thing is data collection. Data collection can come from various places. FDP1 में हमने वेब स्क्रैपिंग की थी. वेब स्क्रैपिंग के जरिए हम लोग ने डेटा स्क्रैप करके निकाला था. We could scrap data from Amazon, we could scrap data from Flipkart, we could scrap data from Wikipedia. So we scrap data by using beautiful SOAP library and regex, and we got data in hand. That's all data collection. Data could be collected through scrapping. Data could be ready with us in databases. Data could be given through us by collecting data by surveys or Google Forms, or data could be downloaded from the government websites like Niti Aayog and Kaggle. Next, data preparation. Data preparation means data which is given to you may not always be neat and clean. उसको थोड़ा क्लीनिंग करने की जरूरत पड़ती है हमेशा. First. Second, data which is given to us may have categorical variables. Categorical variables like gender, male, female. Categorical data है. Diabetic, non-diabetic, categorical data है. हाँ सर, होने दो भैया. Categorical data जो होता है ना, उसको आप किसी भी ML मॉडल को नहीं दे सकते. ML model will only understand, I repeat, ML model will only understand numeric data. Categorical data समझ में नहीं आता उसे. तो categorical data को आपको numeric में convert करना पड़ेगा. That is called data preparation. उसके बाद natural process है. आप decide कीजिए आपको data classify करना है या predict करना है. Predict करना है तो आप regression model use कीजिए. अगर आपको classify करना है तो classification को algo use कीजिए. That's called model fitting. Model fit होने के बाद मॉडल ML मॉडल रेडी हो चुका है, डेटा की पढ़ाई वो कर चुका है, बेस्ट फिट लाइन या बेस्ट सेपरेटिंग लाइन फाइंड कर चुका है. ठीक है, अब क्या? अब रियल डेटा आपके पास, आपका एक्चुअल डेटा आपके पास है, आपने एमएल मॉडल क्यों बनाया? जैसे जब रियल टाइम डेटा आपके पास है तो आप प्रिडिक्शन कर सको। मान लीजिए आपके पास स्विगी का डेटा है, स्विगी का डेटा है और वो आपने पढ़ लिया है। अब आपको प्रिडिक्ट करना है कि आपके ऐप में जो नया कस्टमर आ रहा है, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन इस कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स की, वो अंधेरी सबर्ब का है, बॉम्बे सिटी में अंधेरी सबर्ब का है, वो लोखंडवाला में रहता है, वो एक बॉय है ऑफ 24 ईयर्स ओल्ड, और वो सर्व कर रहा है वेज डिशेस इन पनीर कैटेगरी, वेज डिशेस इन पनीर कैटेगरी। अब आपको जजमेंट आना चाहिए कि प्रीवियस केसेस में जो बॉयज इस रेंज में थे आपके सिस्टम में, उन्होंने क्या ऑर्डर किया था और कौन से रेस्टोरेंट से ऑर्डर किया था, तो आपका रिकमेंडेशन इंजन वो रिकमेंड करना चाहिए। आपके रिकमेंडेशन इंजन ने 2 रिकमेंडेशंस दिए, 2 रिकमेंडेशन में से एक भी उसने क्लिक नहीं किया, 2 रिकमेंडेशन में से एक भी उसने क्लिक नहीं किया, उसने कोई तीसरा ही फाइंड करके वहां से वो चीज ऑर्डर कर दी, मतलब आपका मॉडल फेल हुआ ना। सो मॉडल इवैल्यूएशन मींस कि आपने जो उसको रिकमेंड किया उसने वो ऑर्डर नहीं किया, उसने और ही कुछ ऑर्डर किया, सो दैट्स अ फेलियर। सो मॉडल इवैल्यूएशन सेल्स इज माय मॉडल predicting actually what is happening or not, so you are able to calculate the loss. The loss, if it is acceptable, you will come out of the चक्कर व्यू। ये एक चक्कर व्यू है, इससे बाहर निकल जाओ। लॉस एक्सेप्टेबल है ना, ठीक है, मतलब 10 में से 8 लोगों ने आपका रिकमेंडेशन को क्लिक किया ना, 2 ने क्लिक नहीं किया, चलेगा, come out of it, your model is good, deploy it, move it, deploy it, move it, let it put to use. But if your model is giving you a poor accuracy, then you need to do hyperparameter tuning. And once you tune your hyperparameters, again you will evaluate the model. This is a viscous circle. गोल 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 घूमेगा ही। ट्यूनिंग करो, इवैल्यूएट करो, वापस ट्यूनिंग, जब तक आप सेटिस्फाई ना हो, सेटिस्फाई हुए टिक मार्क करो, बाहर निकल जाओ, डिप्लॉय करो मॉडल को, यूज में लेके आओ, सिंपल। ठीक है, ये चीज हम करने वाले हैं अब थोड़ी देर के बाद। बिफोर दैट, yes, is this particular part very clear? Please ping me a yes. The last flow pipeline, ping me a yes. Okay, lots of people have pinged yes, that means it's clear to them. ठीक है, so uh, anybody from the SPIT team would like to talk about the assessment process? I will turn off my audio, please take it over.
सर शेयरिंग भी निकालना पड़ेगा 1 मिनट के लिए।
जी जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर।
मैडम, निकट मैम, shall I give the
Yes,
exercise
sir.
to
Yes,
you?
sir.
Okay.
Is my screen visible?
Not yet मैम, खाली आपका नाम आ रहा है।
Madam, it is visible now. Go ahead.
Ma'am, you are not audible. I think you are on mute.
निकिता, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही, मतलब if you can just turn on your audio, I think so, maybe.
यस निकट मैम, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है।
I'm so sorry. I'll just share once again. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 minute. Am I audible now?
Absolutely, you're very clear.
Yeah. So this is our assessment mechanism for the FDP2. We have 4 modes of evaluation. The first one is a learning evaluation sheet. So this will be a sheet which has to be filled day wise, session wise, where every participant has to make a summary and list 3 takeaways from the sessions attended. So I will just show that sheet as well. So we'll be uploading this on Moodle, and we'll also be sharing it with you because some of the accounts have not been created yet. So we'll be sharing on WhatsApp in the group. So this is the sheet. Is this sheet visible? Is this sheet visible?
Your PDF was visible. Sheet is yet to come, no? The Google Sheet is yet to come.
Now is it visible?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
ma'am, it
yes.
has come.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a sheet. You have to fill your details here in this table. So the email ID, your name, your email ID, your mobile number, all your details, all your particulars, and then day wise you have to fill the sheet. So like for example, this is today's morning session. The summary you have to write here, and then the last column is for the 3 takeaways that are there. Similarly, session wise, day wise, you have to fill this sheet every day, and there'll be a link on Moodle which will be opened till the next day morning, till before 10 a.m. So by 10 a.m. every day, you have to fill this sheet for that day and submit it on Moodle. So this is one mechanism. The second assessment mode is there'll be one complete case study coding assignment, where you have to actually perform classification machine learning algorithms on some data set. So basically one data set will be given, and there'll be 4 milestones which will be given. So based on those 4 milestones, there'll be 4 dates of submission. So the deadlines you will have to follow. So this is one complete study. So this will be based on all the hands-on sessions which are conducted by Rocky sir. This is the second assessment mode. The third one could be any assignment which is given by any resource person on any given day. So any resource person, whoever wishes to give any assignment, could give the assignment, and a deadline will be accordingly set for that. And again, this assignment has to be submitted on Moodle. It could be any topic. Again, the fourth and the final assignment is the final assessment quiz, which will be a 1-hour MCQ quiz, which is based on all the topics which are covered during the FDP. Can you see my PDF?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
ma'am, go ahead.
yeah. So again, this quiz will be on the last day of the FDP, that is 29th November. It will be open between 8 to 11 a.m. So it is a 1-hour quiz. It is compulsory to attempt this quiz, and it will be based on all topics covered in the FDP. Also, any of these assessments, if you miss 1 or 2, it is fine, but it is not. It should not be that you miss, you don't submit anything, and at the end you rush. Then you will not be given participation certificate. But the final quiz is compulsory. Without that, you will not be given participation certificate. So this is all about the assessment. This PDF also will be uploaded on Moodle, so you can have a look. It will also be posted on the WhatsApp group. So that's all from my side regarding the assessment. Over to you, Rathod sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you very much. So, participants, please try to understand why we have evolved this mechanism. The first one that Madam has explained you is about the evaluation sheet, in which we want you to go through all kinds of videos, and your attendance should be good enough. For that purpose, we have evolved that mechanism. Second is a programming assignment. So obviously there are 4 milestones, 2 in this week and 2 will be in the next week. And it's not that very hard deadlines are there. You have sufficient time to execute those assignments, right? And you have to submit everything on. And as Madam told, final quiz is compulsory. There is no choice for that. Okay. So that's it. So this is how we are going to progress with the all kinds of assessments. So over to you, Rocky sir. I'll be giving the access rights to you back.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so friends, a request to open the notebook 2. Everyone will please open the notebook 2. Goes as AICT_2 ML pipeline. That's the name of the next notebook. I hope everybody is having the link to the next notebook, the second one. Rato sir, I have not got access to share, sir. I have not yet got it.
उसको मैं select कर रहा हूँ, but I don't know why it's not getting selected.
Sir, presently rights is with Nikita ma'am, so she will have to release it. Only then can I get it.
I mean, I can change. Actually, मेरा mouse उस पर click नहीं हो पा रहा somehow.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's what is the issue. Just.
So all my friends in the group here, I hope you have opened the collab notebook to the second notebook. That's right. And I'm very happy that Bhuma Devi is back. And what's the message? Second notebook? No, sir. Why? Why second notebook? Second notebook has been given. See, Aparna also shared the second notebook's drive link, right? Yes, Aparna has again shared it. She's so cooperative. She's sharing it so fast. So please, friends, Aparna has already shared the second notebook's link on the chat. Please have a look at it. Open it up and kindly read. I request for everyone. In the meantime, I get the rights to work. I'm requesting everybody to read the objective. There is an objective called student grant recommendation. So please read that particular para.
Rocky sir.
Yes, can I rejoin, sir? Should I rejoin?
No, I think I'll have to rejoin.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Rocky sir,
Yes. Bhuma Devi,
sorry
yes.
sir, the same notebook only I am getting, the latest link. If I'm clicking the same notebook only I'm getting.
Okay, so you're trying to say that you're not able to see the AICT2 pipeline notebook. Are you trying to say that?
Yes, sir. One only I'm getting it. Two I'm not getting. Yes.
No problem. I'm sharing on the chat right now. Please pick it up.
Okay, sir.
I have shared it right now.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right. Yes, Rato sir, I've got the access. Thank you very much, sir.
I don't know, sir. Somehow it was not
No, sir,
responding.
वो होता है. That has happened, sir. Zoom and Cisco दोनों में होता है, sir. हाँ.
Okay.
जी. Right. So, friends, as you could see, we are in our notebook 2. Okay. So I hope now I want a yes punched on the chat. I believe everyone is on notebook 2, which you are able to see on my screen. See this AICT_2 ML pipeline. ऐसा ना हो कि notebook 1 2 के बारे में बता रहा हूँ आप 1 पर हो. ऐसा गलती ना हो जाए. So please punch a yes to me on the chat. S. Bhuma Devi will also punch a yes because you just asked me for the notebook, right? Bhuma Devi. So please punch a yes. Correct. Very nice. Okay. So I believe all of you are now, we are all on the same page. Now let's move further. Okay. Let me turn on my video and it's over here. Okay. Right. Friends, where did our first notebook end? And from that point, our notebook number 2 will start. So all these are interconnected. As I keep progressing, things are interconnected. But yes, because we are going to meet after a day, so it is my due responsibility as a trainer that I will connect what you left last and what you're going to continue today. That's the reason you will see a small percentage, maybe 5% of overlapping matter. That is for connectivity purpose. Okay? Right. So ML process flow or ML pipeline. This is what we saw right now. So there is no connectivity problem. आज ही आपने देखा इसको. ये कितना आसान था ना, ये सब हम करेंगे. अब करते हैं, चलो लग जाते हैं काम पर. हाँ, लेकिन एक ML पाइपलाइन जो है ना, वो इतना भी सिंपल नहीं है जितना आपने ऊपर देखा. ML pipeline will also have some more steps. And usually when we make an ML pipeline, there is a class called pipelining. So we can use the sklearn library and use this class called pipelining and actually make a pipeline where pipeline is just like a function, a predefined function, or that not a predefined, sorry, user-defined function defined by you and me. And this user-defined function is going to have a Python codes, 10, 20 lines of coding will be there. And each such coding now becomes a part of the pipeline, which will do one work for you. So, abhi hum log kya karne wale hain? We are going to write the steps to prepare a data. But to be very honest, that doesn't work in the industry. So what people do in the industry is that they hire Python coders. And the Python coders are going to, they're not data science engineers, they're not data scientists, they're not ML engineers, they're not data engineers, they are pure Python coders. These Python coders will be told upon by an ML engineer or by a data scientist that listen, right, give me a function which will do this. आपने सब कुछ डिफाइन कर दिया, आपने इनपुट बताया क्या दोगे, आउटपुट क्या चाहिए वैसा बता दिया, और कैसे करना वही बता दिया. वो क्या कर रहा है, वो खाली आपके algo को प्रोग्राम में ट्रांसलेट कर रहा है. It's defined a user defined function for you. Collection of such user defined functions when connected together. So imagine this, that if we were to make a, let's not talk very big things. Let's talk a very simple thing. Let's imagine we want to make a calculator application, a simple calculator application. In that case, if somebody has devised for us an add function, which can take 2 or more parameters, not only 2 or more parameters. That means it's a variable argument function. You can give n number of arguments to the add function. Somebody has coded a subtract function, to which also you can give n number of arguments. Then my question to you is this. If somebody is asking you that, my friend, can you make a calculator for me which can do addition and subtraction, then none of us are going to do double hard work. Come on, we are all engineers. We will do reusability. We'll reuse our own work. So how will you reuse your own work? You will define a function, and from the function, you will take input from the user and you will take his option. क्या करना है user को हम option पूछेंगे उससे. If he wants to add, we will call the add. If he wants to subtract, we will call the subtract. So if you notice very carefully, your main function is actually calling the pipeline function. So what is pipelining? Pipelining basically means you have made the add. So imagine instead of add, this is data preparation. Instead of subtract, this is after data preparation. Let's say this is fitting the ML model. So Rocky G, it means that when I actually look at a huge ML project, it is nothing but a bundle of function calls. Exactly. It is just a bundle of function calls, nothing more. And this main is done line. कि पहला step होगा data preparation का, next step होगा ML model का, third step ये, fourth step ये, seventh step, last step जब तक deploy नहीं होता, आप एक साथ डालते हैं. That's it. So you make a ML pipeline. So ML pipeline is quite complex when it comes in real life, but we will be dealing with simple pipelines. We will be going up till deploying. Up till deployment. We will do our model last. Okay, right. Let's have a quick look on this now. If I notice here we would dive into the end-to-end ML problem, student grant recommendation. What is the objective we have? You have historical student performance data and their grant recommendation outcomes. Now, what is? Imagine there is some student data that is given to you, and those students want to do PhD at your university. Now, your university has to look at the students' credentials and to decide this research or not. Student says, if you give me a research grant, only then I'm interested to do PhD at your university. Otherwise, not. Okay. It is in India that we pay the fees and do PhD. But if you look at abroad, they pay us more than what we are paying them. We have to pay the fees, maybe X, but what we get back is 3X in terms of the grant to do our research work. But then our research work should be powerfully good enough. So, student grant recommendation outcomes in the form of, they have been given this in the form of CSV. Fine. What all are the X features given to me? These are the X features. Name, overall grade, obedient, research score, project score. Oh, recommend cannot be X because the objective is you have historical student performance data and their grant recommendation outcomes. Acha, grant recommendation outcomes. That means this becomes my Y. Isn't it? This becomes your Y. So this is your Y here. This column. See, nobody will come and tell you what is X and what is Y. This data is super simple. This data is super simple. देखकर आपको पता लगता है कौन सा वाई कौन सा एक्स है. कल डेटा डोमेन स्पेसिफिक हो गया, सिविल लाइन का, केमिकल लाइन का, मेडिकल लाइन का, हमें नहीं पल्ले पड़ने वाला क्या एक्स और क्या वाई है. देन दैट टाइम गूगलिंग इज नेसेसरी कि किसको हम एक्स रखें किसको हम वाई रखें, उन कॉलम्स का क्या मतलब है. दिस इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ डेटा प्रिपरेशन. People have an impression data preparation means only writing code to clean data. No, data preparation also means googling to find the importance of the column which is given to you in the data set. At least if you work on any real project, trust me, it's only bookish which says documentation is given to you. If you worked on, I have worked years on 3 different rail projects with the best of the companies in India. And when I worked, because because when we do corporate training, we are given assignment nowadays by companies in a different way. We're not given any more corporate training. They don't want trainers. They say we want trainer कम consultant. मतलब वो प्रोजेक्ट वो सेटअप लोगों को लेकर ट्रेन भी करेगा टेक्नोलॉजी पर, साथ साथ में जो प्रोजेक्ट वो काम कर रहा है वो प्रोजेक्ट पे कंसल्टिंग भी करेगा. तो मतलब आप एज एन एम्प्लॉई लुक चके हो कंपनी में टू कंसल्ट विद द प्रोजेक्ट. So when we do that, when we go through that phase, that goes for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. But when we go through that phase on a very slow basis, when we're training the set of people as well as consulting on the project, that means we become a part of developing only of the project. We realize one thing: there is no documentation करके कोई चीज नहीं होती. So when a team comes across a project, the documentation is actually made by the team only which is doing the project. So data is halfway through. Data has to be extracted mostly through web scraping or through from legacy databases. And when the data comes to us, trust me, my words, take this with a pinch of salt. Nobody comes and tells you what is this column of data supposed to do in a company. Nobody comes and tells you. Do whatever they say. हम डेटा बताएंगे आपको ये करेंगे, कोई किसको कुछ पता नहीं होगा, कुछ बोलता नहीं. इसका मतलब as an individual, as all you people getting trained in FDP2 have to make this as a mindset. When data comes to you, nobody will tell me X and Y. I have to research to find X and Y. That's important even in the case study. Niket, I'm just mentioned about, right? Nobody's going to come and tell you what is X, what is Y. You have to find out. Next. So recommendation is very clearly the case of the Y. The main objective is to predict, make a prediction model. Prediction model. दिमाग में बत्ती जलनी चाहिए. Prediction model. Regression. Correct. Prediction model means regression. So the main objective is to predict, make a prediction model on this data such that you can predict any future student whether they will be recommended for the grant based on their performance attributes. Okay, cool. This is a toy data set. Huh? This is a dummy toy data set. Step 1, data retrieval. Friends, all of you have done in FDP1. You all are very used to this fact. In Colab notebook पे अगर आपको data upload करना है तो आप क्या करोगे? I have given you the link of the data here. I have given you Google Drive link of the data here. First, please download this data on your PC. Take this link, open it on a new window and download that data set and then upload that data set by running the cell. In Colab, you run this cell, this data will get uploaded. Okay, right? So please do it, everyone. If anybody is unaware of how to download the data, once again, please listen. I'm taking this link. I'm opening this link as you can see in my screen. Wait, it's opening. Patience, 30 seconds. Wait. Okay. Student records.csv, it's a toy data set. It's a very simple, tiny data set. Okay. And I have this button here, download, right? So I'm downloading this data set in front of you. See carefully. See here. Data set got downloaded on my PC on the bottom left, as you can see. Now what am I doing? I'm going back to my cell, and if I click on this run button, this code which you see, no, from google.colab import files.upload will run. Now when this code runs, I will see a button. It is going to come. It will take 30 seconds. Wait, it's coming. Okay, see, I see a button, choose files. Okay, so I click on choose files. Abhi download kiya na humne. I just downloaded right now, right? So I'll just go to downloads folder, as you can see on my PC. And in my downloads folder, I will choose today's date. I see a student records, अभी भी download किया है. देखिए आज का date, अभी का समय, इसको मैंने select कर दिया. That's it. So this will become 100%. Wow, 100% done. So your data has got uploaded to your Colab notebook. When data gets uploaded in your Colab notebook, you can see that data. You can see that data in the files folder. See, come on to the left on the Google Colab. Come on to the left. You will see files and see student records.csv. ये अभी भी upload हुआ है. Okay, ये अभी भी upload हुआ है. Right? Perfect. How many people have uploaded data? Please punch me a yes on the chat. Punch me a yes on the chat. Fantastic. Very good. That's a majority. Very good. So now I move one small step further, friends. One small step further. Everyone will also do this. I have imported pandas. Please remember, we did the whole pandas library in FDP1, and pandas has a lot of methods, right? Read CSV, read Excel, read text. So I'm using read CSV to read the CSV file, and I am then printing. You will be wondering ना, रॉकी जी आपने डॉट हेड क्यों नहीं यूज? मैंने इसके लिए हेड यूज नहीं किया क्योंकि आपके पास जो डेटा सेट है वो टॉय डेटा सेट है, उसमें है ही 8-10 रिकॉर्ड्स, सब देख लो ना एक साथ. सो डीएफ जब मैंने प्रिंट किया तो आई कैन सी द इंटायर डेटा इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी. यहां तक आप पहुंच जाए कि हाँ डेटा लोड हो गया, डेटा मैं देख सक रहा हूँ मेरे स्क्रीन पर जैसे मुझे दिख रहा है. आप यस कहें तो मैं आगे चलता हूँ. Okay, now that's a majority people who have said a yes. Fantastic. Now, if I notice, I have got student's name. I can see what is his overall grade. Has he been obedient or not? His research score of the past project which he was doing. That has been a project score, and the university in which we are applying. The university in which we are applying. That university has recommended in the past this student called Henry who had these kind of credentials. Another student called David who had gotten overall grade F. No, he was not at all obedient. A useless resource, a useless project. So did the university recommend him for project अपना पूरा क्या PhD पूरा हो गया, but did the university give him some grant? Research? No, they didn't. So this recommend column means, did you as an administrator at the university, did you as a dean or the project guide recommend him or not. So yes means he was recommended, no means he was not recommended. This data is given to you. Fine. First question to all of you. You can also see the screen. I can also see it. Is there with missing data? On the chart? Yes or no? Absolutely. Perfect. There is no missing column. There is no missing data in any of the columns. That means data is absolutely clean. I haven't to do any headache of data cleaning. Step 2, data preparation. Automatically skip ho gaya. Based on the data set above, we do not have any data errors or missing values. Hence, we will mainly focus on feature engineering and scaling in this section. What is feature engineering? Also about data preparation. Feature engineering is also a part of data preparation. But cleaning the data, removing the missing values or replacing the missing values, that work is at least not here. So today is the first day, na? So your data is clean. Tomorrow, that is not going to be the case. Let's move further. Feature extraction versus feature engineering. Feature extraction means finding new features, finding new columns from existing columns. The topic of the day when you're going to learn PCA. Mr. Amar Patel is going to teach you PCA, Principal Component Analysis. Feature engineering is what we're doing right now. क्यों करना है feature engineering? Why it is needed? क्या होता है कि कोई भी ML model, कोई भी ML model आप ले लो, every ML algo existing till date can only accept numeric data as its input. Even if you give him text or you give him an image, you have to ultimately convert it into text and give it. Sorry, into numeric and give it. So it cannot understand categorical data. It can't understand text data. It can't understand images. Oh my God. सब कुछ समझ में नहीं आता, कुछ समझ में नहीं आता उसको. वो कहता है आप जो मुझे डेटा दोगे, please give me in numeric form. That means there are such columns in your data set which are clearly categorical. Notice the overall grade is categorical data. You would have got either grade A or B or obedient ho ya nahi ho is categorical data. So these two categorical columns and third column, target column is also categorical, no? Recommend, yes or no. But उसको थोड़ा बाजू में रखते हैं, recommend को बाजू में रखते हैं थोड़ी देर के लिए. But overall grade और obedient, ये दोनों जो features हैं, जो important है, ये दोनों जो features हैं, ये categorical data है. And ML doesn't understand categorical data. तो पहला काम क्या करते हैं? First thing which we will separate your entire data set into two parts, X and Y, where X is the input features and Y is a target variable. Up, get the features and the corresponding outcomes. So first, feature names. Please notice, I have typed those column names here. I have typed those column names here, which you and me both will agree should become the input features to the ML model. Overall grade, obedient, result score and project score. You will say, okay ji, aap naam lena bhul gaye. Tell me one thing very honestly. Is the name of the person going to decide whether he should get research grant or not grant? No, it will not. In fact, if you take name, there can be an allegation on us that we are having gender, cultural bias. So avoid the name of that person. नाम ही नहीं पता तो मुझे gender नहीं पता लगेगा, मुझे culture भी नहीं पता चलेगा कौन से culture कौन से community से वो है. Simple हो गई बात. Simple. So overall grade, obedient, research score and project score are my four features. I'm dumping them in the variable feature underscore names. ठीक है? So what I've done, data frame में से मैंने ये चार columns उठाए और डाल दिए एक न्यू डेटा फ्रेम में कॉल ट्रेनिंग अंडरस्कोर फीचर्स. मैंने आउटकम लेवल में केवल एक कॉलम रिकमेंड लिया और डेटा फ्रेम में से ओरिजिनल डेटा फ्रेम डीएफ में से मैंने केवल रिकमेंड उठाया और डाल दिया आउटकम लेवल. आपके पास दो डेटा फ्रेम्स हैं. पहला डेटा फ्रेम ट्रेनिंग फीचर, इसमें चार कॉलम्स हैं, जिसमें एक ही कॉलम है रिकमेंड. दोनों को प्रिंट कर दिया जस्ट फॉर आवर सेटिस्फैक्शन कि वो देखें हमको. ओके, नाउ one of you will please confirm with me, is this code of get features and corresponding outcomes there or not there? Yes or no? Y or N? Not there, I'll punch it on the group. Actually, it has to be typed. but I don't want you to type right now because we're running out of time. We have to do something very useful, right? This is the code, come on the chat. Please take it from the chat, everyone. Yeah, I have already punched on the chat. Please take it from the chat. I'll hold. Okay. So how many people could pick the code from the right place and run the cell and also got the output like I have got? If you notice, I have got 4 columns: overall grade, obedient, research score, project score separately, and then the next data frame is showing me the output of recommend column. Yes or no? Right. So now that's a majority of people who said yes, they have been able to do it. It's very nice. Okay, Charlie. Now one small baby step ahead, one small tiny step ahead. See what you have done right now. You have been able to distinguish between the features and the labels. 4 features and 1 label. That 1 label is recommend. Now, because both of us know from the initial introduction that no ML system understands text data, image, कैटेगोरिकल डेटा, उनको उसको कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. तो जो कैटेगोरिकल डेटा हमारे पास है, रिसर्च स्कोर एंड प्रोजेक्ट स्कोर, ये हमारी और आपकी मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि हम उसे कन्वर्ट करें इनटू न्यूमेरिकल डेटा. Therefore, what we will do is we will do right now on that. So let's see this. List down features based on their type. So I made 2 list variables. First list numeric feature names. Numeric feature names, research score and project score. The next list is categorical feature names as overall grade and obedient. Separate कर दिया आपने. Research score, project score, numerical data. Overall grade, obedient, categorical data. ठीक है? ये 2 लिस्ट मैंने बनाए. So again the same question. Is this code list down features based on type? There or not? If it is there, say yes. Cool. Indrajit said it is there. That means it is there. आएगा वो क्लिक. ठीक है. अब सेल रन हुआ मतलब 2 लिस्ट बन चुके हैं. Okay, I have embedded some videos for you so that so once you refer my notebooks, you haven't to worry about referring anything else. It's all there. Okay, now point is this, friends. Whenever data is given to us, it could be very widely spread. मतलब उसका min और max काफी widespread में रह सकता है. So it's not a good practice to actually use a very widespread data. So we should have this habit when we're giving data to our algorithm, we should scale it or we should normalize it. So if we have to scale it or we have to normalize it, we need to use some kind of normalization algorithm. I remember in the FDP1, when I was explaining the NumPy library, I spoke about an np.log function where I spoke about the YouTube videos. So I've just given a small example here for your kind of self-reading and recalling. For example, if you have YouTube video counts dataset, some videos have a very, say 50, and some a very high count, let's say 500,000. If the ML model is trained, using this data, then it would be biased towards video having view count say 500,000. Thereby, when we use this model to predict the count of video, it would mostly predict a high value. ये ML model में overfitting problem होता है. It's called the overfitting and biasing problem. So this is the biasing problem in ML models where if you give them values of of very small denomination, of very small absolute values and very high absolute values, ML models usually tend, if जब वो फिर आपको आंसर देना शुरू करेंगे, they will offer little higher answers. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? I'll tell you. See this. मान लीजिए आपने एक ML मॉडल बनाया, जिसका काम ये है कि जब आपको कोई, आप कुछ वीडियो के कुछ पैरामीटर्स दोगे ना उसको, कि ये वीडियो कौन से कैटेगरी का है, कुकिंग कैटेगरी का है, कुकिंग, ओके, ये वीडियो जिस चैनल में अपलोड हुआ उसके सब्सक्राइबर्स कितने हैं, ठीक है, और ये वीडियो जो अपलोड हुआ है वो उसकी क्लैरिटी या उसकी क्वालिटी कैसी है, ठीक है, तो आपने ये सब पैरामीटर्स इनपुट पर इसको एमएल मॉडल को ट्रेन करके रखा हुआ है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली एमएल मॉडल हुआ था तो उसमें ऐसे वीडियोस थे जिनके काउंट 50 से लेकर 5 लाख तक थे। वीडियो को दोगे ना और कहो कि भाई आप बताओ मुझे कि इस वीडियो को एक हफ्ते में कितने व्यू काउंट्स आने के चांसेस है ऑन दीज पैरामीटर्स, कि वीडियो का कैटेगरी कौन सा है, वीडियो का कंटेंट क्वालिटी या सब्सक्राइबर तो चैनल के, उस वीडियो की क्लैरिटी और कंटेंट किस तरीके का वगैरह वगैरह, आपने पैरामीटर्स दिए। आप जब दोगे ना तो मान लो वो प्रिडिक्ट करता है कि इस वीडियो को 1 लाख व्यूज आएगी, एक हफ्ते में 1 लाख व्यूज आएंगे, ऐसा उसने किया, लेकिन 40,000 व्यूज, 40,000 1 लाख कि हाँ वो एक्चुअल तो बहुत कम आ रहा है, प्रिडिक्शन कहाँ ज्यादा दे रहा है, ठीक है। आपने फिर दूसरा वीडियो का प्रिडिक्शन किया, आपको दूसरा वीडियो आया, उसका प्रिडिक्शन उसने किया कि इसको मिलेगा 75K व्यूज, लेकिन उस वीडियो को एक्चुअल में मिला, एक्चुअल में उस वीडियो को मिला लेट्स से 32K व्यूज। आप सोचोगे यार ये क्या हो रहा है। हमेशा जब देखो ये एमएल मॉडल, ऐसे मैंने 10 बार 15 बार ट्राई किया, हमेशा जब देखो मैं एमएल मॉडल जो प्रिडिक्शन करता है वो ओवरबोर्ड ही रहता है, मतलब ओवर कोट कर देता है, वो ही ऑलवेज ओवर कोट, ज्यादा ही बोलता है वो, करेक्ट, दिस कॉल्ड बायसिंग फैक्टर। सो देयर इज अ बायस ऑफ द एमएल मॉडल टूवर्ड्स हायर वैल्यू। क्यों ऐसा हुआ होगा, क्योंकि आपने एमएल मॉडल को जब डेटा फीड किया होगा ना सुपरवाइज लर्निंग के टाइम में, आपने सुपरवाइज लर्निंग के टाइम पर उस इनपुट डेटा फीचर्स एक्स को स्केल नहीं किया होगा। स्केल का मतलब नॉर्मलाइज करना, और नॉर्मलाइज का मतलब होता है कि डेटा को आप 0 और 1 के रेंज में लेके आओ, स्क्यूज इट, रिड्यूस द रेंज, स्क्यूज कर दो उसको, ठीक है, अच्छी बात है। तो ये करने से आउटपुट बेटर आएगा, 100% बेटर आएगा। स्क्यूज कैसे करें, बहुत सिंपल है। There are 3 algorithms to do it. Standard scalar, which uses standard deviation. Min-max scalar, which uses the range of max minus min. And robust scalar, which uses IQR. IQR stands for interquartile range. Just remember these three. 3 values more than sufficient. Standard scalar uses standard deviation. Min-max scalar uses the range max minus min. And robust scalar uses the interquartile range IQR. अगर आपका डेटा जो आपके पास डेटा सेट है अगर उसमें आउटलायर्स काफी है तो प्लीज min max scalar बिल्कुल यूज मत करना। Don't use min max scalar if you are having outliers. If there is no outliers or if there are very few outliers in data, बिंदास रहो, बिंदास यूज करो standard scalar या robust scalar, efficiency आउटपुट में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। If there are more outliers, use robust scalar. Don't prefer to use robust. Too many outliers. Less outliers, you can standard or robust, whatever you wish to use. Now, by default, if nobody states you anything, I repeat, by default states you anything, you will be using standard scalar. Now, let's move on to this. What do we see in this? Today we have to finish. Look at the time, huh? Nobody look at the time. Today we have to finish up till the point modeling tomorrow. Modeling will start tomorrow. But up till this point, up till this cell, I have to get my data ready. Data ready हो जाएगा तो data preparation का पूरा मेरा phase आज finish हो गया. And please remember, every project you take, these are standard steps which you have to do. बस data cleaning इसमें नहीं आया, data cleaning भी add हो जाएगा. Let's see what we are doing. Okay, so everybody's attention. On the screen, please. I have imported a library called standard scalar from sklearn.preprocessing. So from this path, I have imported the module standard scalar, which allows me to scale. How do you scale? Very simple. Any class which you want to use in machine learning, you make an object of it, apply it. Khatam. So standard scalar का हमने object बनाया, and after making the object of standard scalar, what we are doing? Standard scalar dot fit. SS is getting fit. Fit means learn करना. So it's just like this, that standard scalar is trying to learn कि what is a range of data. Range कितना है? By the way, the internal mathematical formula for standard scalar goes like this. Every value x in the sample I, that means in the row. तो हेनरी का एक रो था, डेविड का दूसरा रो था, जेम्स का तीसरा रो था, ऐसा था ना. So every value x in the ith row, you will subtract from it the mean value of x. So for example, if you want to scale down research score आपको scale down करना है, तो हर individual बंदे का हम research score लेंगे, उसमें से subtract करेंगे the average research score, and I'm going to divide it by the standard deviation of the research score. Simple. ये हो गया उसका formula. X minus mu divided by sigma. Sigma is my standard deviation. Simple. क्योंकि आपके पास रिसर्च स्कोर कॉलम तो है, जो भी वैल्यूज उसके अंदर पड़ी हुई है, तो उस वैल्यूज को लेकर हम उसका एवरेज और स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन फाइंड कर सकते हैं. करेक्ट है. फिर अब क्या करना है? अब हर इंडिविजुअल के रिसर्च स्कोर में हम जाएंगे. मान लो पहले स्टूडेंट का रिसर्च स्कोर 92 था, सो 92 माइनस सपोज आपको एवरेज आया 65. ओके. अब स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन जो भी आया हो, मैंने तो फाइंड नहीं किया, जो भी स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन आया हो वो डिनोमिनेटर में लिख देता हूँ, जैसे स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन फॉर द रिसर्च स्कोर. बस इसका जो वैल्यू आएगा वो आंसर. सिंपल. ऐसा हर वैल्यू के ऊपर वो अप्लाई होगा, लेकिन हमें कुछ नहीं करना. स्टैंडर्ड स्केलर क्लास सब कर लेगा, और वही वो कर रहा था. was finding the mean and the standard deviation sigma. Mu और sigma वो find करता है when you say fit. So when standard scalar fits over the numeric feature columns, there are two things in numeric feature columns. Remember, please, friends, research score and project score. तो दोनों का standard scalar के object में mean और sigma find कर लिया है और अपने दिमाग में रख दिया. ठीक है. अब अप्लाई भी तो करोगे, इस मीन और सिग्मा को अप्लाई भी तो करोगे, जैसे हम वैल्यू को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकें. दैट्स व्हाट इज बीइंग डन हियर. स्टैंडर्ड स्केलर और ट्रांसफॉर्म इज ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग द न्यूमेरिक फीचर नेम्स, एंड व्हेन इज ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग द न्यूमेरिक फीचर नेम्स, ट्रांसफॉर्म होने के बाद डम किया आपने, वापस. सो डम क्यों किया? डम नहीं करूंगा तो वैल्यूज मेरे हाथ में वापस कहां से आएगी? यू नो, ये ss.transform ने इन न्यूमेरिक फीचर्स की वैल्यूज को लिया, इनको स्केल किया. स्केल करने के बाद अगर आप वापस रिपीट कॉपी बैक नहीं करोगे उसे ओरिजिनल डेटा फ्रेम में, तो ओरिजिनल डेटा फ्रेम में तो फिर कुछ असर ही नहीं पड़ेगा, है ना. स्केलिंग. ठीक है. अभी होने के बाद मैंने प्रिंट किया. नाउ बिफोर आई मूव एनी फर्दर, इज देयर एनी क्यूरी हियर? आई एम रिपीटिंग वन लास्ट पॉइंट. फिट मीन्स finding mean, that is mu, and the standard deviation, that is sigma, and transform means applying the formula which we just discussed. Every value of x will be taken, from it the mu of its, for let's say research score liya, research score minus average research score divided by standard deviation of the research score. This is called transform. Transform means applying this formula on every value. Right. And then I printed it. Please look at the output very carefully along with me. I can notice the research score has become 0.89, 0.73, blah, blah. Look carefully. The least research score here, least, is this one, minus 1.80. Somebody in the audience, somebody in the participant group, please help me on this. Can you please find out that the student at the index number 2 has really got the least research score? Because normalized value is minus 1.80. and the student at the index position 5, is he got the highest research score because his normalized values is the highest, that is 0.96? Please find out and tell me. Oh, so many people are saying yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes, nice, perfect. So Pallavi has even added one more information, friends, for us. Pallavi says the student has got the lowest in the research score is actually got only 10 marks. So 10 got translated to minus 1.80. And how much is 0.96 by the way? The student को 0.96 मिला research score में, उसको actually कितने marks मिले हैं? Indrajit, you're correct, 92. That's right. So as you could see, what was the range previously? 10 से आप कहाँ तक गए? 92 में. पहला वाला range. Standard scaling आपका range skews होकर कितना छोटा सा हो गया? You're going from 0.96 to minus 1.8. That's about 3. आपका आप absolute value निकाल लो, difference निकालो, 3 का difference आएगा आपको, right? So the range has got skewed, right? Same for project score also. Range got skewed. Now what? अब आपने न्यूमेरिक डेटा को प्रिपेयर कर दिया. आप you have crossed 25% of your work. अब क्या बचा? सबसे बेसिक चीज अभी बची है, आपके पास 2 कैटेगोरिकल कॉलम्स हैं, ओवरऑल ग्रेड एंड ओबीडिएंट. इनका भी देख लो. ये तो ऐसे तो जाने वाले हैं नहीं एमएल मॉडल को ही. ओहो, तो क्या करें? चलो देखते क्या करें. अब to be very honest, there are loads of techniques, there are lots of techniques in feature engineering. And in fact, when we get an opportunity to enter into NLP applications, natural language processing applications, text-based data, उसमें तो हद के बाहर हमारे पास categorical text data को feature engineering करने के तरीके हैं. But everything can't be discussed in the one session. So we have to restrict ourselves. Or what is relevant here? Most of the times, the simplest of all is that if categorical data is given to you, 90% of the times our work is done if we do one-hot encoding. What is one-hot encoding? Let's have a look. Suppose I have a column called gender, in which I have got male and female. Now this is categorical data. This is clear-cut categorical data. ये डेटा तो भाई एमएल मॉडल लेगा नहीं. तो क्या करें हम? अगर इस डेटा को आपने वन हॉट इनकोड किया, इस डेटा को अगर आपने वन हॉट इनकोड किया, तो you will get 2 columns against 1. You had only 1 column, no gender. You will get 2 columns now. So the first column is going to be gender male. Second column is going to be gender female. Okay, look at the first row. Because let's say the first person is A and the second person is B. Okay, so this person whose name is A, his gender is male. So this row will get filled up as 1 0. And this person whose name is B, who's a female, her row is going to get filled as 0 1. So notice, if a third person now comes up, and if she's a female, the row will get filled up. This row will get filled up as 0 1. It means now I'm not going to talk about gender column. Now I will talk about gender as 0 1 or 1 0. If the gender is 1 0, person is a male. If the gender is 0 1, the person is a female. Simple. तो आपने क्या किया? आपने एक कैटेगोरिकल डेटा को लेकर बाइनरी फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर दिया. अब ये जो भाषा है ना, बाइनरी भाषा, ये समझ में आती है आपके एमएल को? 0 1 1 0 वाली. वो खुश है, कहता हाँ ये समझ में आ रहा है मुझे, ये दे दो आप मुझे. गिव मी अ वेक्टर. So giving you a vector. These are all vectors. You can understand them as a vector. So this is a vector. Now this is only 2 categorical data, gender male and female. कल आपके पास ग्रेड्स होते हैं A B C D E. तो यहाँ पर आपके 5 कॉलम्स बनते हैं, ग्रेड A, ग्रेड B, ग्रेड C, ग्रेड D, ग्रेड E. एंड अकॉर्डिंगली वहाँ डेटा कैसे फिल होता? 0 से 1 से फिल होता. ठीक है? So this is your one hot encoding. Before I remove this, please punch me. Is one hot encoding clear? Please punch me a yes on the group. If there's something is unclear, ask me the doubt. on the group itself, on the chat. Okay, it's all clear to everyone. Please don't hesitate. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I can solve that doubt later and come back tomorrow, or possibly I can solve that doubt and punch the answer right away. No doubts, it seems so. Okay, that's cool. We move further, friends. Now, what I notice here is वन आउट एनकोडिंग पता तो है करना है, अब कैसे करना है वो देखिए. जो पांडास लाइब्रेरी आपने सीखा था वे बैक इन FDP1 लास्ट वन, सेम चीज उसी पांडास लाइब्रेरी में आपके पास एक रेडी मेथड है, गेट डमीज. By the way, to do one-out encoding, there are two ways. First way is to use this method get dummies, and second is to use the class called one hot encoder. अब सवाल उठा, रॉकी जी इन दोनों में से हमें कब क्या यूज करना चाहिए? अगर आपके पास एक डिफैक्टो सर्वर पकड़ के चलिए, कोडर्स में, मशीन लर्निंग इंजीनियर्स में, ML इंजीनियर्स जो इंडस्ट्री में काम करते हैं, अगर आपके पास फ्यू फीचर्स है, few 2 3 4 5, this is a very small number, few features which are categorical, please use get dummies. But moment you feel I have got 10 features 20 features which are categorical in nature, don't use get dummies method, because ये इंडिविजुअली हर एक कॉलम पर अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा, ऐसा लिखकर अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा, मत यूज कीजिए. यूज वन हॉट इनकोडिंग क्लास, make an object of that class which has some methods very similar to this, that is faster. Okay, so pandas और get dummies को आपने पहला इनपुट दिया है ट्रेनिंग अंडरस्कोर फीचर्स. ये आपका टोटल डेटा फ्रेम है. ट्रेनिंग फीचर्स आपका डेटा फ्रेम है जिसमें आपके पास हाल फिलहाल 4 कॉलम्स है. प्लीज रिकॉल रिसर्च स्कोर, प्रोजेक्ट स्कोर, ओबीडियंट एंड ओवरऑल ग्रेड, ऐसे 4 कॉलम्स हैं इसमें. उस 4 में से 2 कॉलम्स कैटेगोरिकल है जो आपने यहां पर लिए हैं, कैटेगोरिकल फीचर नेम्स. कॉलम्स इक्वल टू कैटेगोरिकल फीचर नेम्स. ये लिस्ट ऊपर बनाई थी हम सब लोगों ने, आपको याद आ रही है सबको? डू यू ऑल रिकॉल? कैटेगोरिकल फीचर नेम्स लिस्ट आपने ऊपर बनाई थी, राइट? गुड. सो आई कैन सी yes sirs coming, that's good. So my crowd is with me now. कुछ नहीं करना आपको, गेट डमीज आपने किया. वो जो डेटा आपके पास है रिसर्च स्कोर का, सॉरी ओबीडियंट का, ओबीडियंट में 2 ही वैल्यूज हैं, यस और नो. मतलब ओबीडियंट के 2 कॉलम्स बनेंगे, ओबीडियंट यस, ओबीडियंट नो. ग्रेड में मेरे ख्याल से 4 या 5 अलग अलग ग्रेड्स हैं, तो ग्रेड के 4-5 कॉलम्स बन जाएंगे. वो आ गए ट्रेनिंग फीचर्स में, फिर मैंने प्रिंट कर दिया. अब देखिए आउटपुट क्या आता है. लेकिन ये देखिए आउटपुट क्या है, ध्यान से देखिए, आपके स्क्रीन में, मेरे स्क्रीन में, जैसे जहां देखना है, और गिन लीजिए. आपके कॉलम्स स्प्लिट हुए हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू द कैटेगोरिकल डेटा दैट रिस्पेक्टिव कॉलम कंटेन्ड. ओवरऑल ग्रेड कंटेन्ड ग्रेड A, ग्रेड B, C, E and F. ओवरऑल ग्रेड का जो ऊपर कॉलम है, इट कंटेन 5 डिफरेंट वैल्यूज. So now I'm getting 5 different columns. Overall grade A, overall grade B, then C, then E and then F. Obedient column में 2 ही डेटा थे, वो है obedient no and obedient yes. ठीक है, अब मेरे स्क्रीन को आपने वॉच किया, आपने नोटिस किया कि आपके 4 कॉलम्स अब 9 कॉलम्स बन गए. 4 कॉलम्स 9 कॉलम्स बन गए. गिन लो, रिसर्च स्कोर, प्रोजेक्ट स्कोर, ओवरऑल ग्रेड 3 4 5 6 7 8 और 9 कॉलम्स बन गए हैं आपके. जी, Bhuma Devi, I know code is not there, I'll just punch it on the group writer. Friends, the code is on your way. Please pick it up from the chat and run it, and then share your answer with me. That did you also get a similar output or not? Please tell me. Okay, Dr. Kranti has said yes, fantastic. But I want other confirmations also. Manoj says yes. Vikas says that's good. Indrajit says that there is an error. Indrajit, you're getting an error as none of index, overall, grade, obedient, data type, object are in the columns. Yes. Indrajit, you'll get this error because आपका जो previous cell है जिसमें वो columns define हुए हैं वो run नहीं हुआ है. Just go above, run your previous cells, then run this cell. Deshri, same applies to you. Please run the cell. I'll tell you which cell. The cell in which you have defined columns equal to categorical feature names. जिस सेल में आपने ये कॉलम को डिफाइन किया है ना, कैटेगोरिकल फीचर नेम्स लिस्ट को डिफाइन किया है, उसको वापस से रन कीजिए, फिर आइए सेल को रन करने. Okay, Miss Malik says yes over here. Zubina Malik says yes. Anjali now says it's working. Okay. I typed the code, maybe some spelling error. Huh, Jayashri, possible. But Jayashri, for a quick work, why don't you replace your code with mine from the chat? Okay. I'm still waiting for a few more yeses to come. Dr. Pushpa, there is an error. I'm getting an error of sklearn preprocessing is. Error क्या है? क्या एरर आ रहा है? sklearn preprocessing तो लाइब्रेरी इंपोर्ट होती है, उसमें एरर तो नहीं आना चाहिए.
नहीं, वो आ रहा है कि इनवैलिड सिंटेक्स आ रहा है मुझे.
आपने कोड टाइप किया कि रन किया, मतलब कॉपी करके रन
नहीं,
किया?
टाइप किया नहीं, मैंने आपके इसमें से नोटबुक में कॉपी किया क्योंकि मुझे वो अपलोड करना नहीं आ रहा था, तो मैंने अपने यहाँ से फाइल को लोड किया स्टूडेंट डेटा को और पीडी पांडा से रिट्राइव किया, तो पहले तो आ गया था हेडिंग और वो सब रिट्राइव हो गया. फिर बाद में sklearn प्री प्रोसेसिंग का टाइप किया तो फाइल लाइन 1 फ्रॉम sklearn प्री इनवैलिड सिंटेक्स आ रहा है.
एक सेकंड, आप लाइन पर बने रहिए. और आप जो कह रहे हो वो sklearn प्री प्रोसेसिंग तो काफी पहले ही एरर आया होगा आपको, वो एरर आपको यहाँ पर आया होगा.
हाँ, तो आपने एसएस
इसके
में
बाद
ट्रेनिंग फीचर्स लिखा ना सर, इंपोर्ट स्टैंडर्ड स्केलर रखा, फिर स्टैंडर्ड स्केलर से हमने कैटेगोरिकल नेम्स दिया ना ये ट्रेनिंग फीचर्स के हिसाब से. तो
नहीं
वहां
बाकी
से
सब कॉलम्स,
वो
नहीं
रन कर
बाकी
रही.
सब, नहीं वो सब समझा मुझे, बट बाकी सब कॉलम्स आपने रन करके देखे, वो सब बराबर रन हो रहे हैं, ऑल अदर
हाँ,
कॉलम्स इन बिटवीन?
हाँ, ऊपर तो हेडिंग सब आ गया, वो फाइल तो रिट्राइव हो गया, वो तो अच्छे से आया. न्यूमेरिक फीचर्स नेम वो रन नहीं हो रहा था.
ओके
हाँ,
ओके. सो एक काम करता हूँ मैं,
हाँ.
आपने क्या क्या टाइप किया है मुझे खाली बताइए. आपके सामने जो कोड है लाइन नंबर 7-8 आपने टाइप किया या व्हाट
नहीं,
लाइंस यू
कॉपी
हैव
किया
टाइप?
सर मैंने आपसे, आपके इसमें से टाइप करना सर.
नहीं टाइप नहीं करना है, मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ क्योंकि आपको यहाँ पर एरर आ रहा है ना, sklearn.preprocessing import standard scalar आपका कह रहे हो ना, आपके नहीं आ रहा है.
हाँ,
यू गेटिंग एरर ऑन दिस लाइन ना?
हाँ, मैं बता रही हूँ इसको ऐसे टाइप किया सर, देखो.
ऐसे स्टैंडर्ड स्केलर आई थिंक, स्टैंडर्ड स्केलर वो तो ठीक है. इंपोर्ट स्टैंडर्ड स्केलर ss.fit training features notifications equal lesson of transform print. I don't see any mistake in the code.
हाँ,
Code to looks perfect, but only thing is that maybe you have made a mistake with respect to the spacing. इंटर की कहाँ एक्स्ट्रा कुछ प्रेस हो गया, कुछ ऐसा तो गलती तो नहीं हुई?
अच्छा, ठीक है सर, मैं बाद में देख लेती हूँ. शायद वो इंडेंट का कुछ एरर आया तो इंडेंट तो बताता हूँ, लेकिन
नहीं इंडेंट नहीं आएगा आपको. इंडेंट हाँ, बिकॉज सभी एक ही लाइन में है, तो इंडेंटेशन एरर
हाँ,
आने का सवाल ही नहीं होता, सभी एक ही लाइन
अच्छा,
में
तो
है.
नहीं, फ्रॉम और इंपोर्ट एक ही लाइन से होना सर.
फ्रॉम और इम्पोर्ट एक ही लाइन से होना, करेक्ट राइट,
अच्छा,
आना
ठीक
चाहिए.
है, तो मैंने अलग लाइन में लिखा. ओके,
हाँ नहीं नहीं नहीं, फ्रॉम और इम्पोर्ट एक ही लाइन में आना चाहिए, परफेक्ट, कंपल्सरी है.
देखती हूँ सर अभी रन होता है कि नहीं.
जी जी कीजिए. यस यस.
नहीं,
ओके
आपके वो पहले एफडीपी से मैंने बहुत सारा थोड़ा लर्न किया और अपने आप कर रही हूँ, तो मैंने सोचा
राइट
ठीक
राइट.
है अभी
नहीं
देख
नहीं
ले.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आप
क्यों नहीं
इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं, बहुत खुशी हो रही है इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली पर एक ट्रेनर को तो वो वाइट स्क्रीन को देखना पड़ता है. आप जब बात कर रहे हो तो खुशी भी होती है कि कोई तो बात कर रहा है हमसे. जी.
नहीं
इसके बाद
सर, वो मैं लर्न कर रही हूँ, ये सब मैंने देखा एक्चुअली वीडियोस में, तो अभी कनेक्ट हो रही हूँ, लेकिन फिर लोड करने में थोड़ी मुश्किल ही तो होगी, पहली बार है करके.
जी
ठीक है
जी
सर,
जी.
आप आप कैरी कीजिए, मेरे वजह से रोको मत, टाइम बहुत कम
जी
है।
जी
आई
जी
विल
जी
जस्ट
बिल्कुल
राइट सर।
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। ये लाइन जो है एक सिंगल लाइन में खाली आपके लिए पंच कर लेता हूँ, इसको जैसा है कॉपी करके उठा लीजिए और एक ही लाइन में आना चाहिए। Right. So, friends, as you could see that majority people are, they have said that is working. And as Bhuma Devi has said, I could see only obedient column. Bhuma Devi, you could see only obedient column. That's not going to be the case. You will see both the columns because
Sir, I wanted to check. I'm also getting error, sir.
where are you getting error? Where are you
The
getting?
same key error is coming in the same, the current cell which you have given, get the miss. That particular part, it's not getting. Sir, once again, kindly paste the code, na sir. Please don't
Okay.
take it
Okay.
in the other way.
No. Actually, no. I should not take it away. Okay. Now, one more thing. See, when I'm pasting the code, you have to be very careful that it's always in one single line. You don't worry about my enter. That's all should be in one single line. मतलब यहाँ enter मत प्रेस कर देना गलती से, तो वो enter का मतलब अलग हो जाएगा. This is one single line now. Some people have typed may have seen that अरे ये टाइप करके enter प्रेस करके हाँ enter प्रेस किया तो गलत दे देगा मुझे वो. मैंने enter नहीं प्रेस किया, मैंने एक ही लाइन में रखा हुआ है, उससे नेक्स्ट लाइन पर ले लिया है. Okay, so I hope this should work.
सर मुझे एरर ट्रेनिंग फीचर्स इज नॉट डिफाइंड करके आया, तो शायद मुझे कहीं डिफाइन
हाँ.
करना होगा वो।
No. Wait. Which is not defined का मतलब ये हो गया कि अगर आप ऊपर जाए
हाँ
हाँ तो आप नोटिस करें ट्रेनिंग फीचर्स के डेटा फ्रेम को हम लोग ने ऊपर डिफाइन किया है यहाँ पर. ये देखिए ये वाला सेल जिसपे आपने ट्रेनिंग फीचर्स इक्वल टू डीएफ फीचर नेम्स लिया है, ये जो सेल है ये मिस हुआ होगा, ये सेल रन नहीं
हाँ
हुआ है.
हाँ, मैंने वो तो नहीं किया।
करेक्ट. तो आप हर एक सेल में जाकर रन बटन सीक्वेंस में जाकर रन करते जाइए. हर किसी भी एक सेल में एरर आ गया तो कोड आके काम करना बंद कर देगा.
ठीक है सर, मेरे ये होने के बाद पहला कैटेगरी वही होगा। ठीक है सर, देख लेंगे।
Right. So, friends, I hope overall doubts are being cleared. Pallavi has a doubt. None of index overall grade obedient D type object are in the columns. Yes, Pallavi. That is because of the fact that कि ये जो आपका ये जो सेल है ना, ये वाला सेल, ये देखिए, this particular cell numeric feature column से category आपने इसको रन नहीं किया. There is a run button beside ना, आपने इसको रन नहीं किया. You skipped it running. So please run this, and then after this, whichever cell is there, run them in sequence to reach to that respective cell. Yep. Okay, and then give me your feedback, Pallavi, in the next 30 seconds. Okay, Apeksha has, I can see for the middle columns, I can see triple dots. That Apeksha, this means truncation. In Colab, अगर वो डेटा को फिट नहीं कर सकता ना, तो कभी कभार वो मतलब अगर आप अपने कोलैब नोटबुक को फुल स्क्रीन कर लो तो वो डेटा को फिट करके वहां दिखा देगा आपको. और डेटा अगर वो फिट नहीं कर पाता तो वो ट्रिपल डॉट्स दिखाता है, विच मीन्स ट्रंकेटेड. ओके, जुपिटर में ऐसा नहीं आएगा. जुपिटर में आपको वो स्क्रॉल बार दिखा देगा, जैसे मुझे आ रहा है स्क्रॉल बार. ये देखिए मेरा डेटा कैसा आ रहा है, कॉन्कैट होकर नीचे आ रहा है. जुपिटर में ऐसा आ रहा है, ब्रेक होकर नीचे जाएगा. बट कोलैब में वो एक ही लाइन में आएगा और वो 3 डॉट्स डाल देगा, ट्रंकेशन. Okay, great. Right, so everyone has said yes and they are done. Fantastic. So friends,
Hello. Hello, sir.
yes.
So actually, I've noticed one strange problem. If you run the same code twice, it gives error.
Obviously it will give error because you are trying to re-engineering the features. No, you're not supposed to re-engineer the features, right or not? अगर मैं आपको कहूँ 2+2 करो तो आप कहोगे 4. मैं आपको बोलूँ वापस 2+2 करो तो वो आप बोलोगे ऑलरेडी 4 आ चुका है मेमोरी में, तो आप 4+4 करने में जा रहे हैं. आप समझ रहे हो, right? So you have to be very careful on that. Don't rerun your cell again. If you're rerunning this cell again, जिसमें आप खड़े हो, re-engineering जिसमें आप कर रहे हो get dummies का, तो फिर आपको स्टार्टिंग से सब सेल वापस से रन करने पड़ेंगे, तो आप ये सेल को रन कीजिए, अदरवाइज यू विल बी गेटिंग एन एरर. ओके, राइट, ठीक है. सो फ्रेंड्स, लेट अस समराइज. हम आज कहाँ तक पहुंचे, इस नोटबुक को हम वापस कल भी शुरू करने वाले हैं। अभी हमने एमएल मॉडल नहीं बनाया है, हमने एमएल मॉडल के लिए डेटा रेडी कर लिया है। अब हम कल एमएल मॉडल बनाकर इस डेटा को उसको अप्लाई करेंगे और एमएल मॉडल को हम चेक करेंगे कि वो कैसे काम कर रहा है, कितना अच्छा है, कितना बुरा वो काम कर रहा है, ठीक है। और फिर उसके बाद हम आगे बढ़ेंगे नेक्स्ट नोटबुक की तरफ, राइट। सो कैन यू गिव मी वन line feedback? Did you like it? What we did today? Did you like it? Was the pace correct? You want me to go faster? You want me to go slower? Please give me the hints. Or is it okay? Is the pace okay? Okay. So majority people have said that the pace is fine, except for one feedback which says that it shouldn't go faster than this. Don't worry, I won't go faster than this. That's a promise. I will keep up with the same pace. Maybe if I have to go a little slower, I will try and go a little slower also, if possible, if time permits. Okay, right. So my session for today ends here. Over to Rathore sir or somebody else on the admin side.
Thank you, Rocky sir.
Thank you.
Your session was great as usual. Your way of teaching, the way you interact, the examples, diagrams that you referred during the session, it makes it very, very interesting. I really thank you for that. We all are looking forward for tomorrow's session. Thank you, sir. See you tomorrow. Rathod sir, any more instructions for the participants?
No more instructions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Aparna.
Okay. I hope all participants have filled the feedback and attendance form. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.
Professor S. Kamlakar Rao, may I talk to you?
Sir.
Sir, then what you decided?
I'm going to attend, sir, but it requires little homework from my end, I feel.
Okay. You most well. It's okay then. Most welcome. Okay.
Thank you, sir. A lot of homework. Okay, thank you, sir. I was unable to.
Little bit of homework you will have to do. You should have time for that. That's it.
The biggest problem is my system crashed, sir, so I have to fix it as quickly as possible. When sir was asking me to do that, I'm unable to, because laptop is compulsory, what I feel is. Okay.
Yes. For you, all evening sessions, laptop is compulsory, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So,
thanks.
Okay, so we will continue with your registration. Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Okay. So, thank you, participants. I'm closing this meeting. I'm ending this meeting. Okay. Harshil sir.